everybody, welcome to Impossible Coin. Brian is in the backyard peeing, and I think it's mainly because somebody else is using the bathroom. So, this is Festival Hardbody, and welcome to Impossible Coin. Rocky Hardy, how are you, friend?
I didn't know Brian was broke enough to only have one bathroom.
I mean, there's some air quotes, and we don't want to go into it. Business going on with the second bathroom. It's currently out of service. So, the bathroom du jour is in use. Tegan Somerset, how are you?
I'm here. Sure are here. Are you sober this time?
Not a drop in me.
I'm not sure that's what she asked.
I mean, that kind of is, because, I think that's why he sounds different this time, Rocky.
Been drawing out, laying off the drugs as well. Now, here's the thing. Guys, can you hold on a minute?
Yeah.
I'll be back, or maybe Brian will. Just 1 second.
Rocky, I'm afraid. Why does Brian keep leaving his door unlocked?
I don't know.
You gotta buy him, a Ring doorbell or something.
Everybody, grab onto your tits. It's time for Impossible Coin. Your market resource for all the fucking stocks. I'm your host, Ducat Sequoia.
No, you're not. No, you're
Okay.
not. You're not my dad.
Babyface, I don't know who your dad is, and I don't give a shit.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm Ducat Sequoia. I'm here for all your market tips. That's right. No coin is impossible here today, baby.
Oh my god. Rocky.
Yeah.
From what I understood, I was going to have an intern, a Rocky hard guy. Apparently he's pricks real hard.
Oh my god, Rocky.
Okay, I don't... Ducat, that was your name, right?
Ducat Sequoia.
You might have ended up in the wrong booth, my friend. I don't think you're in the right show.
It's a family name.
Your first name's a family name, Ducat? That doesn't make any damn sense!
My grandfather's name was Ducat, you little prick.
Where's your fucking grandpa? I want to piss on his fucking grave.
I'm going to fucking find you. I'm going to rip off your head. I'm going to shit down your neck hole.
Oh, are you now? Okay. Someone's been watching a little too much anime out here.
Okay. Hey, you, Toots.
Oh,
Toots.
I hate this, yeah.
Toots.
Mm-hmm.
Toots.
Uh-huh.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever rolled up a pepperoni and snorted a whole box of nerds?
No.
I have. It's fucking incredible.
You know, I fucking believe it.
When you get into the great nerds, that shit is next level. It's next level. It's next level. I'm so fucking hard right now with all this GameStop stock. I've got so much game stock.
It's the stock doing it to you, huh?
Oh, God. Like steel. My prick's like steel because of this game stock.
I'm gonna text Brian.
That's a good idea.
No coin is impossible, baby.
Oh, my God.
No coin is impossible. I'm going to put so much lettuce in my Ferrari. You think I'm talking about money? No, I mean actual fucking lettuce.
That costs less than money. You know that, right?
I understand that, but have you ever tried to have sex on top of money?
Oh my god.
Have you ever tried to have sex on top of lettuce? Let me tell you what is a lot more pleasurable neck hole when you have it on top of lettuce.
I'm sorry, did you call me neck hole?
Yes, because I ripped off your head and I'm going to shit down your neck, so your neck hole now. Your neck hole hard guy.
Is there an HR I could talk to?
Let me tell you what. These two guys in this house, fat guy and surf guy.
Oh no.
Fuck them, okay? I was taking a piss in this man's bathroom, and I shamed fat guy into pissing in his own backyard. And it's all because I took a shit in the other bathroom, and he's going to have to call a plumber. So when I moved on to the other bathroom to finish my business...
Okay, so everyone, this is Impossible Coin. This is actually a podcast about video games. Brian is normally here. We're just going to wait until Brian's done pissing in the backyard. Tegan, you still there?
Yeah, I mean, I hope he got my text. Dang. What the heck?
Ducat Sequoia.
We gotta order Brian a Ring doorbell and, an upgraded security system. This is getting ridiculous.
I have to feel like this is on purpose at some point, right? It's been years.
It has been literal years. You are correct.
He's just like, oh, I hope you don't go to my recording setup. I mean, I have to record right now. Gee, I hope no one
I think it makes him hard.
Oh my god.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's be real here. Guy does it for years, it's because it makes him hard.
It's the only explanation, clearly.
That's my dad you're talking about. You can't talk about my dad like that. That's my dad.
That fat guy's a piece of shit.
No, that's my dad. You can't say that about my dad.
The surf guy, he's also a piece of shit.
I mean, we knew that.
Festival's fine.
We been knew, but...
All right? And I heard podcast called Impossible Coin, clearly about investing.
Absolutely not, no.
Not even close, actually.
About glitched out video games.
Jeez.
Wait, you guys on here to talk about investing?
No.
Not even a little bit.
Nope.
Boy, is the egg on my face.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here, Ducat.
No, Ducat's singular. It's a family name.
Once again, that's dumb as fuck.
Jesus.
But, whatever. Get off of our podcast. Tell us when Brian's back.
Neckhole, I would like to apologize for calling you Neckhole.
You say that, but you just did it again. Apology not accepted. Oh, actually,
Literally
you
twice.
can talk to Brian about this, because I only accept apologies in the form of sushi.
Oh, wait, how does that even work? Do you, spell out the words in the fish?
I mean, you can. I award points for creativity.
Okay. Well, then I guess I owe you fish. I'm sorry. Rocky. Toots.
Her name is Tegan.
I'm sorry. Okay. Toots Somerset?
No.
No.
You know what? For enough money, you can call me Toots Somerset. For enough money. There is a price on that.
I see something here on some run sheet about feet. So, okay. Okay, Tegan. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go get the fat guy 1 second.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. God, what an asshole.
God, I hope Brian comes back. Come back, Brian. I miss you. What the fuck?
Guys, you're never going to believe this. I was pissing in my own backyard.
Brian?
I find that
Brian?
difficult to believe, but you know what? It's fine.
Brian, you need to lock all of your doors.
Oh, I was expecting Festival to come over. He's... Festival has
I
gotten
told you
second
he
dose
did it
of
on
vaccine.
purpose, Tegan. He just didn't think Ducat would step in or whatever, which is still dumb.
Dude, your financial planner's an asshole.
Wait, who are you calling my financial planner?
Ducat.
Yeah, Ducats, man.
That are okay. There was this guy who showed up
No.
after Festival.
Why do you just let people in your house?
I'm telling
Shut
you,
the
he does
door
it on
and lock
purpose,
it when
Tegan.
people are done.
He fucked up a bathroom. He was doing some shit with a box of nerd candy I don't understand. There was some additional activity with some fun dip I also don't understand. I don't want to get into it. But Jesus fucking Christ. Kept on going on and on and on about how he was the Wario of Stonk Street. And he said his name was Ducat Sequoia. What the fuck kind of name is Ducat Sequoia?
Why the fuck do you just leave your door unlocked for people to walk in? Stop it. Don't do it again. If I get another fucking stranger who just wandered into your house on the show, I swan to Johnson. I will fly down there myself and install a new door.
I mean, was it bad?
I'm down to install a new door in Brian's
Dude,
office.
he
That
calls
sounds
me
great.
Toots. He told Rocky he was going to shit his neck hole, and then he said he was going to pay me for feet pics. No thank you.
All that tells me is that Ducat is an old school anime nerd. That's a line from Devilman, like the original Devilman. Like, it wasn't even like a deep cut. Like, everyone knows that fucking line.
Man. Gosh, guys. Jesus. Well, fuck him.
Oh, he owes me sushi.
Jesus.
And I need you to make
What
sure,
happened?
Brian, because when
Yeah.
he left, he said that he owed me fish, and that's incorrect. He owes me sushi. That's the deal.
I mean, I think he was doing drugs here.
I mean, you said that with Nerds Candy. I don't know if that constitutes as drugs. It's not even, like, on a schedule.
I mean, how do you schedule nerds candy? Like,
It's sugar powder, man. Like, come on. You could snort that if you want to. It's not going to do anything.
Okay,
How do you-
can I just say this? Yeah. Related but unrelated. When I was in elementary school, I used to crush up Smarties and carry them around at school in a film canister.
Okay.
So, like, yes, sugar is drugs. Sugar is drugs, can be thought of as drugs, and can get you sent to the principal's office. Just saying.
Take it up. I'm not sure that's the same. I understand what you're saying, but I'm not sure that's exactly the same.
To be fair, it was elementary school, and I was sent to the principal's office for crushed up Smarties in a film canister.
I kind of miss film canisters.
Right? You hold a lot of stuff in there.
Tegan,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this guy was like straight up just like
An asshole? Yes.
snorting the nerds through what looked like a rolled up piece of pepperoni.
Why do you let these people in your house? Why don't you call the police? That's exactly what the police are for.
Man.
So, guys, as much as Brian would like it to be, this show is not about Ducat Sequoia. This show is about video games. And the people that play them, including us. Tegan, what have you been playing?
I've only played 3 games. Brian, we need to have a discussion about Phoenix Rising. You never responded to my tweet asking specifically if I had to kick the galaxy marbles into the fucking Mancala board. Do I have to do that, or is there an option to pick them up? Because this is the most frustrating thing I think I've ever done, and I don't even have the wings yet.
Why don't you have the fucking wings? That's like first half hour.
I can't get them because I gotta get the galaxy marbles into the Mancala board, my dude.
Oh my god, get the fuck... You know
I
what?
can't. Can I pick them up, or do I have to fucking soccer ball them over?
Oh, fuck.
I am playing this game on the Switch, Brian.
Where do you think I was playing? The Sky?
No, I thought maybe the Xbox.
So, Brian, this is an elaborate ruse to not answer the question, and I don't appreciate it.
Do I have to kick them? Yes or no?
Yes, asterisks.
Okay.
Okay, what's the asterisk?
It's a lot easier with the fucking wings, Tegan.
I can't get the wings! The wings are behind a red thing!
Brian, just tell her how to get the wings.
What do you mean it's easier with the wings? I'm supposed to get the wings first?
Go get the fucking wings. Like,
How do I get the wings? I can't even get to the vantage point because it's too far away. What am I supposed to do? Am I doing this ass backwards?
Yes!
Shit, me! Okay, so what do I have to do? I have to
Go
climb
get
up
the fucking wings, Tegan.
Tell her.
How do I get them when they're behind the red thing?
I am honestly puzzled because the way that the wings were introduced to me was organically by following what the game told me to do within the first hour. When the game tried to shepherd me in a direction, I said, okay, game, I believe you. I realize that this is the tutorial section.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do what you tell me to do.
I did.
Apparently fucking not.
There are no wings. I'm at some temple thing.
Brian, just tell her how to get the wings. Holy shit. What is this? What's happening right now?
Okay, well...
Okay, I'm at a red temple thing. There is no name on anything. I passed, like, an Apollo lyre that it was like, hey, you'll have to play this later. And I was like, cool, okay. So I walked into the temple thing, and then I'm like, okay, so the vantage point it wants me to access is over there, across the bay. And so how do I get over there? Oh, I see the wings. They're locked behind a red force field that I can't go through. But I also see this galaxy ball. And if I kick this galaxy ball into the thing, I bet it opens the door to the fucking wings. Okay, how do I get the galaxy ball? I have to kick this thing? What the fuck? And now I can't do it. And I still haven't gotten over to the vantage point that it wants me to get to, because I'm across the bay, and obviously, from where I am, I'm supposed to glide over to it, but I can't get the wings!
No, Tegan, right now you're supposed to swim across the bay.
Swim? Why am I all the way? Why did it direct me all the way up this fucking thing, then? If you just want me to swim. I wonder if I jump from this height if I'm gonna drown. Or die.
Tegan, are you playing
Let's
it
find
right
out.
now?
No, I'm not playing it right now.
Okay.
I could be playing it right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna be really mad. I'm not gonna play it right now. I'll try again later. I'm so fucking mad.
I'm honestly very puzzled because, like, the first 2 things that the game tasks you with doing, after you, like, run up the beach and you see, like, you know, like, all of the soldiers that your sibling fought with, which have been turned to stone, and you recovered your sibling's sword.
Right. Yeah, I got that.
After you do that, the literal next thing that the video game tells you to do is
Go to a
climb
vantage
up.
point.
Yes.
Yes, that's what it would like me to do.
Yeah.
And I have followed the path that I thought was supposed to lead me to the vantage point. And instead, it led me to this temple, and the wings are in the temple, but I can't get the wings because I'm in colorboard. I didn't have to swim anywhere. I just followed the road like it wanted me to do.
Question, Tegan.
Yeah. Yes, Brian.
How long do you bounce your head off of something in a video game before you go and say, like, am I fucking this up, and check a YouTube?
I mean, I didn't check a YouTube because I texted you as soon as I went, how am I fucking this up? And you never responded.
Oof, got him.
And then I went, well, maybe he's busy. I'll play something else and come back later because, Brian, you are my guide. I don't need YouTube. I have you. You played the game.
Damn, you're gonna punish her for believing in friendship, Brian? That's uncool.
Look at these galaxy balls. Look at them. I'm gonna copy an image, and I'm gonna send it to you. And this isn't the same spot I'm at, Rocky. I want you to know this. This is not the same spot. But those are galaxy balls, and they're in a Moncala board. And I'm trying to figure out that shit. And, like, the thing makes sense, but I can't move the balls. Galaxy Balls Moncala board. That is the best fucking description of that thing. And those red things. And the wings are behind a red thing.
Like the left one or whatever?
Yeah. I mean, not in this particular situation, because this is definitely not the temple I'm at. But, you know, it's the same idea.
I'm just seeing this photo of Kristen Chenoweth. It's really distracting me. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's okay. That's understandable and also fair.
So, the way that you're going to get the wings, periodically throughout the game, you get transported to these, like, pocket dimensions, which are controlled by the gods.
Oh, okay. That sounds cool.
Meaning that, like, the current physical location of the wings doesn't matter, because the way you get the wings is by being transported to this, like, small pocket dimension, which is like a puzzling platforming challenge.
Well, that sounds like fun.
So you do that, and the next immediate order of events, you go to the top of the
statue,
the vantage point, and then the game is like, well, maybe you should go over here. Like, you know, the narration that you're hearing, it like is like, well, maybe you should go over here. You're going to then try to go over there, which is going to advise you to try and cross the broken bridge into, like, the larger map area, and you're going to discover that you can't, at which point you'll go out to this, like, tiny island, which is down in, like, the Bay Area, and on that tiny island, you'll get transported to a pocket dimension, at which point you will get the wings, and the wings make just about everything easier.
Okay. So what I did, which was literally continue to follow the road, because I assumed the road would lead me to the vantage point, was actually the wrong thing to do. I was supposed to not follow the road, and just go diagonally straight to the fucking vantage point.
Sounds like it.
God damn it. Okay.
Yeah.
Tune in next week when I will find out whether or not I get these fucking wings. I'm so frustrated.
Yeah, the wings are, like, an easy get. And once you have the wings, you have access to, like, a double jump.
Essentially, like, yeah, it's like the Sheikah Slate stuff.
Yes.
Also, it looks like.
Yeah. And you have the ability to, like, apply direction to your second jump when double jumping. Meaning that when you, like, do the second jump in the air, you're able to tap in a direction. Meaning that, like, if you land into an object while doing the second jump, it applies force to that object.
Okay. So I still don't pick it up, but I jump on it. Okay.
I guess jump at it. But yeah.
Okay. Well, I killed a bunch of Totally Not Furies, and that was very okay. That's about all I've done. Climbed a lot. Got some mushrooms. Don't have enough stamina. It's very frustrating. I hope that goes up eventually. But yeah, okay. So I went the wrong direction by following the road and all of the stone people. That feels bad. I don't like that I followed the breadcrumbs and ended up in the wrong direction. That's very frustrating. Oh well.
I'm kind of puzzled because, like, in that, like, early tutorial area, I never felt led astray by the game. You know what I mean? But I think I remember something which is, like, a very similar experience to what you're describing in the moments I left the Great Plateau in Breath of the Wild. And, you know, like, I remember jumping off, and then, like, shortly thereafter, you see your first enemy of, like, physical scale once you jump off the Great Plateau. You're like, Jesus, look at that big motherfucker. And what the game wants you to do is to walk directly by that big motherfucker and continue on the road, you know, to the village. But what I thought the game wanted me to do was, because I was, like, still, like, young and fresh and very susceptible to dying, was to give that guy a wide berth and take an alternate path, which is what I ended up doing which is why I saw different things on my way to the village than most folks, because I didn't follow the road. And I guess that's a byproduct of like an open world fantasy environment. It is possible for like something that the game says is like obvious signposting to not necessarily have the desired effect.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I hope that the other games that you played did not turn you off as hard.
I just am bouncing really bad. I don't think it's any... it is definitely the fault of, like, the game's setup, I guess, but I'm not totally turned off, so I'm willing to give it another shot. You know?
Sure.
Because, specifically, you had such high praise for this game, like, I'm making an extra effort to see what all the fuss is about. But I also understand why I was able to find it at GameStop, like, in the first week of it being out. You know? Because if someone else is having had the same experience that I just had, I would also trade the game in, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
There's one other thought I'm having on this, Tegan, which is that one of the ways I described it was like a marriage of Ubisoft open world stuff and Breath of the Wild open world stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if the more Ubisoft design decisions are part of like why you're bouncing. Because as I recall, you weren't necessarily the one who was like doing the drive-in when it came to like recent Assassin's Creed games and recent Watchdog games.
Oh yeah, Alex plays those.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if like actually being in the driver's seat of a game, which is a Ubisoft open world game, is that like any amount of closeness to like Ubisoft design structure. Like one of the things that you did mention when you messaged me was the camera response speed. You said the camera is slow.
It's so slow. Like when I'm turning the camera turns so slow.
And it didn't necessarily feel that way to me because of my time with Ubisoft games. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if that's part of it. Okay.
I mean, maybe. We'll figure it out. I don't know. Alex makes everything look easy, also. So, like, that might be part of it. I'm considering just having him play it and see if it's maybe, like, if it is just straight up user error, you know?
Well, it's definitely not user error, Tegan. Like...
I mean, it sounds like I'm using it wrong.
No. I want to validate.
I am the error, and I am also the user, and therefore I am the user error.
No, I just want to validate your observations. Like, if you don't think that the camera is working in a way that satisfies you, I could just have a tolerance built up for that kind of camera because of my history with this manufacturer's work. You could like be saying like, this is just not snappy enough. This is dog shit. And I'm willing to deal with it, and I'm not even thinking about the fact that what I'm doing is dealing with it. So I don't want to, like, write this off to user error because that invalidates your observations. Like, this is a subjective piece of art. Like, whether or not you like it is entirely accurate, regardless of what your take is.
I mean, that is definitely fair. I will agree that is fair. However, being not the primary user of this, it could also be that, like, I am definitely the user error, and if Alex plays the game, I may have just a perfectly fine time watching it, and I might go, oh yeah, that was a great game, you know? Because I didn't have to actually, like, deal with the controls. Which is also, like, a valid way to enjoy games, you know?
Okay. No, hold on. Like, Jesus.
What?
So, Brian definitely did spend about 2 minutes trying to say, it's because you're not used to Ubisoft games. And, like,
yeah.
I am tempted to do the same thing about Monster Hunter with Brian. That barrier that's difficult to, like, penetrate is a quirk, but in less favorable lights, a fault of the developer. Like, that's something that we should be able to point out.
Oh,
like,
okay.
That's fair. Okay, that's fair. I will give it another go, and we can revisit it in a week or so.
Like, I can think about the various things that, like, I didn't enjoy about Monster Hunter, and I'm willing to put those things into two different columns. One, you know, this is me, this is my taste. And the second column, where I look at it and go, that's somebody's fault. You know, like, there's definitely two different columns. The way that they want me, the user, to engage with combat is an intentional, deliberate design choice, and I get it. I fucking get it. Like, they want people to, like, approach combat one way, like, philosophically, and I just, okay, cool. Not for me, but it's a choice. The second is not adequately onboarding people through training in the game. That's somebody's fault. And the game just sitting there smiling and saying, hey, don't worry, friend, drowning is training. Having a miserable time is training. That's training, friend.
Okay,
Life sucking shit.
I'm going to announce we're going to have a special Monster Hunter episode where we get to let Brian air all his complaints and I get to respond with them without, what's the word? There's a good...
Malice?
Yeah, fine. Without malice. There's a better word, but I'll find it later.
I mean, sure. Without smartassery, I guess? I don't know.
I will also do that too.
We'll workshop it.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Tegan, what else have you been playing?
So I also played... I didn't play this game, that's a lie. Alex played this game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a game called The Medium.
I heard they just went profitable.
It is on Game Pass right now. It begins with a trigger warning. At the very beginning, it says, hi, there may be some stuff that not everyone is going to enjoy in this game. And essentially, player discretion is advised.
I wish that had shown up in fucking Forsaken 64.
Yeah, so Alex has played about like a third of the game probably before I sat down and hung out with him while he was playing it, and that's because I was asleep and he was unable to sleep. So I was like, oh yeah, I want to watch you play this game and see, you were talking about it the other day, it sounds really cool. So we sat down, and the part that I got to sit through involved allusions to suicide. The audio of what was probably a rape, definitely story points that took place in early Nazi occupation Germany, and definitely implications of child abuse. And I was just like, wow, it's a good thing they put a trigger warning at the beginning of this game. And Alex goes, yeah, it wasn't entirely like this before this section. I'm really sorry. So I don't know if I can recommend this game yet to anybody, but I will say that if you do decide to play this game, take a minute and pay attention to that trigger warning, because it's just a general trigger warning, and then do some research as to what the triggers are, because, there are a lot.
Does sound like there are a lot of triggers.
There's definitely a lot of stuff in here that's like, this is, But also, the concept of the game is very cool, and the art of the game is very cool.
Mm-hmm.
The main character has the ability to speak to spirits, and the way that they show that in the gameplay is you will see her wandering around in the real world, and then you will see a mirror image, essentially, of her following the exact same controls in the exact same space, but the one image of her with, slightly inverted colors is interacting exclusively with the spirit world. And both are shown on your screen side by side, or like top and bottom divided, and you can switch between which stuff you're interacting with. So you can say you're focusing on the spirit world, or you're focusing on the real world, and interact with the objects there. If there's something in the spirit world that's blocking you, you won't be able to go there in the real world. But if there's something in the spirit world that would allow you to get around a block in the real world, you can choose to focus on the spirit world, get around that block, and then continue with whatever the game is. Which is neat. It's neat. During this section, we're also playing as a secondary person whose spirit self appears to be a separate entity, and I'm not sure if they're being possessed by someone who's just taken on the visage of the person that they're possessing, or if it's that the spirit world side is a separate person, but the way that person's spirit self interacts with the spirits in the world is a very aggressive manner, and the way that the main character that you were playing as interacts with it is a very I don't want to say it's passive, but it's definitely it's not fighting. It's more defensive than anything else, I guess.
For sure. Early Silent Hill and stuff, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And the part that we're in right now is we're sort of rooting out the base issues in someone's psyche that's making them be bad. I don't know how to... I'm not explaining that well. That's not that's not quite what's going on, but that's what's going on.
Okay.
We're trying to unlock someone's memories around an event in the spirit world by using the spirit world to fight the things that are keeping those memories trapped.
Mm-hmm.
But all the memories fucking suck, because they're from, like... they're from early Nazi Germany.
Damn, like, all of them suck? Fuck!
Yeah, like, all of them suck. Like, first this guy's dad dies, and he's very sad about it. And then his mom, I don't know if she remarries this man, but she's like, I found a guy who can help protect us.
Oh, God.
And the way she says that is like, And then you find out that there's this girl who's been living next door to the kid who is definitely Jewish, and we are definitely in Nazi Germany. And she disappears for a while, and he gets worried that she got found or something. And then it turns out that this guy, the guy who his mom said was going to protect them, is a dick in a number of ways. And she ends up using, I think, some identifying paraphernalia. It sounds like she turns him over to the Nazis.
Oh, no.
But like, I don't, there's a lot going on. I don't know how this is gonna shake out.
For sure.
It sure is an experience, though. It's just not my usual experience, you know?
Mm-hmm. Jeez, that's like...
That sounds like the opposite of fun.
Yeah,
So, like, I wouldn't describe it as fun, but I might describe it as entertainment.
Yeah, I don't know that it's a game that's supposed to be fun. It's just a time.
Okay, Tegan, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely acknowledge that art can go for things which is not fun.
Mm-hmm.
I do not expect to watch Schindler's List and have fun.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Right. But also, like, when art asks things of me which are to not have fun, I generally expect it to articulate its point well enough that if I feel uncomfortable, I know why I was made to feel uncomfortable.
I mean, that is understandable, but you also have to remember that I am coming in a third of the way through the game. I don't know anything about the beginning. And we haven't gotten through this section yet, so I don't know. I don't have those answers. And that could be because I came in a third of the way through the game. And so I don't know why I'm being made to feel uncomfortable. Or it could be that at the end of this section, it will tell me why I was made to feel uncomfortable. But until one of those two things happen, I don't know.
Okay.
We're gonna find out. I'm gonna do another thing, give it another shot, see how it goes. But the problem is that Alex, started this game while I was asleep, and then played it all out while I was at work. So, we'll see. But I wanted to let people know that I saw it. And wow, not for everybody. Definitely not for everybody. And I know, like, I don't know.
I have a question, like...
Yeah.
This trigger warning.
Uh-huh.
Did it appear anywhere on the physical packaging?
It's a digital game. It is a digital game.
So, like, there is no boxed version?
Not that I'm aware of.
I wonder if the trigger warning appeared on the storefront.
I know it appears at the beginning of the game. There's a photosensitive epilepsy warning, and it reads, "This game contains light patterns and flashing lights, da-da-da." And then the trigger warning says, "The medium was designed and developed by a diverse team of various beliefs, political views, and ideologies. It touches upon highly sensitive subjects with the intent of treating them seriously. Despite this, some players might find certain scenes and themes triggering."
Okay. I am pulling up the listing on the Xbox store.
Yeah, go for it.
Hey guys, guess what doesn't appear in this description on the storefront?
Is it the trigger warning?
That's the one.
Yeah.
So you buy this game, and the game then after you buy it, the game says, "Hi, we may not be for you, but thanks for the money." And okay, game. I was willing to be optimistic and go, okay, maybe this like trigger warning is something which is like offered
before the game.
Yeah, like, but now it just sounds like they're bragging. You know, like they're like, "Yeah, this game's coming for you." You know, like
sometimes that works.
But to like not. On one hand, if they actually made it available on the storefront, I would be like, okay, this is a sincere warning. But like, to only put it in the game after the user has made the purchase, you know, like now just makes it feel like they're going, "Buckle the fuck up, motherfucker." You know, just like.
I mean, sounds like the Ducat Sequoia of video games.
it does describe itself as a psychological horror game, and it is rated M for mature.
I feel like that the ESRB's credibility has eroded to a point that maybe ratings aren't the strongest argument here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. But also, like, any game that rated itself M for mature, like, I would definitely do additional research on before purchasing.
That makes sense.
Isn't Ducat Sequoia the Ducat Sequoia of people?
I mean, he is the Ducat Sequoia of people, but I meant that the medium is the Ducat Sequoia of games.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe Ducat Sequoia is the Ducat Sequoia of people, but who knows? You know, I've never met the guy.
Yeah, you would know better than us, I guess.
Tiki, what else have you been playing?
Yeah. The other thing I've been playing, I play Link to the Past. Play Link to the Past on the Virtual Console.
Mm-hmm.
On the Switch. And it's still good.
Wait, Link to the Past is on the Switch now?
Yeah!
Fucking
it's
dang.
on Super Nintendo. It's a Super Nintendo release, so yeah, it's part of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's still good. It's still great. Still dumb. Still fun.
You say still dumb?
Yeah!
Link to the Past is kind of dumb.
Well, Link to the Past
but
is
in
a
a
little
fun
bit
way.
dumb in the way that, like, a lot of the early Super Nintendo games I'd say are dumb, where, like, because now with the digital releases, because of the lack of book that gave you a lot of the backstory, a lot of people are just going to be missing out on stuff, which is fun. It's dumb now, but it's fun.
Is there no way to access the,
No! It's just gone. Lost to time, baby.
I remember that whenever games were on Virtual Console on the Wii U, an ability to access, in some cases, a manual that would, like, then show up on the tablet in your lap. Like, game up here, manual in your lap. Fuck, with Earthbound, they put the whole goddamn strategy guide that came with the game originally with the eShop release. That does feel like that is definitely losing something.
I mean, it could just be that I didn't poke around long enough to find it. This is what I did. Saw Zelda title, went, ooh, yeah! Click. So,
Fair.
you know, I see a Zelda title, I click on it. It's not hard. But yeah, it's fun. It's still fun. The gameplay is great, honestly, on Virtual Console. It's nice having the ability to just sort of set restore points periodically if I don't want to mess around with something necessarily, you know? It has all those hallmarks of a great handheld game, and honestly, it translates really nicely to the Switch from the Super Nintendo, so you're not, like, losing anything, which is nice.
Okay, so I'm on Nintendo's webpage right now, where they have beautiful high-resolution PDF of the entire manual for A Link to the fucking Past. So if Nintendo literally has this hosted on their goddamn website, meaning that, like, if I, with, like, barely any searching at all, was able to surface this, it would be colossally stupid to not have, like, a direct interface for accessing this.
Wait, okay, no, hold on. Brian, like, I need you to take a step back. Because, like, it's almost certain that, like, the manual's probably tied to, like, the, like, actual, like, ROM that they have on, like, the Switch, like, Nintendo thing or whatever.
Right.
But you have to admit that most people, when they fire up a Switch game, they're not going to read through the digital manual first. Like, there was definitely, like, a ritual, like, previously, like, when you had physical games and you're coming home from the store and you, like, rifle through the manual or whatever. Or even, like,
yes,
beforehand, like, if you, like, can't have access to, like, the game for whatever reason, like, you fiddle through the manual because you have that. But, like, the digital, like, interface doesn't I don't want to say it doesn't afford that opportunity, but, like, there isn't an impetus to do so, to go look for the manual, even if it's digitally available with the game.
I agree, Rocky. I think that part of the language of video games has changed as video game companies started to try and find corners to cut, you know, to make their margins stay where they were. One of the things that went away was the manual, which meant that we got the, like, protracted training section in games. Like, as manuals got smaller and disappeared, thus ballooned training areas.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, there is definitely, like, two curves in the history of games. As manuals disappeared, so rose training areas. Because a game could no longer rely on you, like, opening a physical object and flipping through its pages to, like, learn how to interact with it. But with, like, an older game, like an NES or a Super Nintendo game, those things exist. And in the case of, like, Star Tropics, are literally essential to the completion of the game. Like, you actually have to consult a physical object in the box that came with Star Tropics in order to finish the game. Now, like, of course, any number of like websites now will tell you the thing that you need to know from inside the box.
It's going to be a real shame when Metal Gear Solid like gets remade on digital and like there's no box to look at for Meryl's like comm code.
Right. And so I think that like Nintendo, which has historically been good about surfacing the importance of printed matter for games that came from an era where printed matter was tied to the experience of a game purchase. Like, if you buy a new Nintendo game now, if you buy like Origami King or, you know, New Horizons, printed matter isn't essential to your enjoyment of the game. Like, it's not core to being part of it because they're designed without that being part of the experience. But Link to the Past, to Tegan's point, it definitely was designed as part of the experience. And Nintendo has, you know, previously like archived all of their first party manuals from the NES and Super NES and made them available online. Fuck, I just started finding manuals from the N64 here. There's the Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time manuals. So, like, they know that, like, games from before that period of time, you kind of need the fucking manual. And they were good on the Wii U, at least, about making sure that, like, from the user interface that you could, like, look at it easily. And I'm wondering if them not surfacing it in an obvious way is a byproduct of going back to, like, a one-screen design for the system. Like, with the Wii U, they would just, like, throw the thing onto the screen in your lap, and now there is no screen in your lap. And did somebody at Nintendo say, like, oh, well, it's not really elegant to have, like, a giant manual on your huge fucking television. So, like, let's just hope that they'll, like, dig their phone out of their pocket and look up the manual that way.
Well, I mean, like, it's still attached to the app because, like, every first-party Nintendo game has, like, their manual attached to it. I'm not entirely sure about Nintendo Switch Online, but it'd be weird if they didn't do it for A Link to the Past.
Right.
So, I definitely believe it's there, but, like, I don't see a good reason for most people, especially, like, new to the series, or new to this particular, like, packaging of the game, to look for it.
So I guess what we're saying is that conceivably it could have been there, but Tegan wasn't incentivized to look for it because of her familiarity with the game.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't need it.
Yeah.
Also, I got the Hyrule Historia. I double don't need it. I got a manual on how to play that game. I got the walkthrough guide. I don't need it. Like,
True.
I have all the information I could ever want. No, that's a lie. I could use some more information. But, like, I don't need the manual. I still have my original manual also, so. But, like, that's not something I looked for. It's not something I bothered to find. But right. I just, like, without that context, if other people aren't looking for it also, without that context, like, the game definitely feels goofy. Not in a bad way. Like, if you watch the opening cutscene, it basically covers all of the, like, major backstory information you would need for this game. So, that's not so bad. I got through the first dungeon. It was fun. You know, took about 2.5 hours. No big deal.
One of my favorite noises in a Super Nintendo game is the noise in Link to the Past when, like, a shitty little soldier will see you and then start, like, running at you with his, like, little... It's a very trotty running animation. You know that noise when they first see you that... I can't emulate it and do it right, but... I'm
pretty sure I can hear it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's
I can play it in my head.
It's a good noise. It's a very good noise. It's like, oh no, I sees you. I'm on board with it. Rocky?
Yeah?
You have been playing a video game which is very well known for its deeply interconnected systems that sit on top of each other.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of games, but one game that I am prepared to talk about today is called Shiren the Wanderer, The Tower of Fortune, and the Dice of Fate. It was a game that was originally released on the PS Vita that has been ported to PC and the Switch. It is a very good video game. It very much feels like something between old school Legend of Zelda and like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, where you play as Shiren the Wanderer and help a young boy try to reverse the hands of fate that is going to kill one of his friends with a terminal illness. And so you climb the Tower of Fortune, you gather the Dice of Fate, and eventually climb the Tower of Miracles, which is where I am currently. Fight your way against monsters with whatever you have available. And there's a lot of really neat, interesting things that I feel like are completely missed in like a passive sense. Like if you're not physically playing the game looks dumb. Absolutely. But it feels great to play. And a lot of the things that I have to like praise about it are tied to boring things like crafting and like inventory management. But there's a curious monster. When you get to the Tower of Future called a mixer, it is like a big like reptilian thing that will like walk up to you and attack you. However, if you throw an item at it, it will swallow it and gain an attack buff. So at first, the idea is that like, oh, I don't want to throw things at it because it'll just get stronger. But what you find out is that if you throw multiple items at them, it'll combine them into a new item, similar to an item that you could have in your inventory called a synthesis pot. So when you have swords that have unique abilities, you can throw them at a mixer and it'll consume them. But if you kill the mixer, you now have a sword with both runes attached to them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's freaking cool.
Yeah, right? And like you can do that like now, like I'm at a current point where I have a sword that has room for an infinite number of runes. So whenever I find a new sword, or like what I do is that I like stash them away and I gather them in like a pot that I can hold for later. Because pots also are a way to compartmentalize your like inventory. So like you have a limited number of slots and they don't increase. But if you have a pot, unless it's a special one, you can put multiple items in a single pot, thereby like expanding how much stuff you're actually able to carry. Whenever I have like a bunch of like swords with unique runes that I want to like put onto a sword that I have, I will go to the Tower of Future and look for a mixer and then throw weapons at them concurrently until like I have all the runes on a single like item, weapon or shield or whatever, and then move along on my run. Also, the whole game is a roguelike. Like, it's designed for you to figure this out over time. So, like, everything's super scary. But then, instead of becoming, like, trivial, like a lot of, like, RPGs tend to do, they just become useful. Like, what happens that the more time you spend in these spaces, you actually find more utility for everything that's actually around you, which is really cool. When I got out of the towers, like, because you have to clear the Tower of the Past, the Tower of the Present, the Tower of the Future concurrently, then you end up in, like, the outskirts of the Tower of Fortune, specifically. Mm-hmm. And the Tower of Fortune now has a new rule introduced, which is the day and night cycle. In the daylight, the game continues as you've been playing, but at night, monsters become incredibly powerful, but also they attack each other. And so you could have one monster that like attacks other monsters and they gain experience from when they kill monsters the same way that you do. And so if you spend too much time in a night area, you may end up with a monster that can hit you for 400 HP and you die. And that's it. Like, it's just like a fucking one-shot kill. But there's also a new system that is introduced, which is like the abilities, which is essentially magic. It's all wizard shit, where your weapons no longer deal reasonable damage. In fact, whenever you hit a night monster, more often than not, it'll only deal 1 point of damage. But abilities, like your magic, tends to kill them in one shot. Unless, you know, they're like severely leveled, and in that case, you know, God help you. Or carry some peaches. Who knows? Also, speaking about peaches, there's like a stamina system that you need to maintain, that if you get to like 0 like stamina, then like it starts dealing damage every time you move, because like the game treats like every instance of movement as a single turn. So if you take like your consumables, if you eat them, you're able to keep your stamina up. And like peaches specifically have unique properties like restoring your wizard shit, but also like giving you like defense boosts or clearing out status ailments or giving you a special like keyword enduring, which means like you get to survive a hit if it would normally kill you. But sometimes you walk over traps that will just rot all the food that's in your inventory, which I used to think, oh, well, I'm fucked now. Now I can't restore my stamina. One, you can, but you just get a debuff if you eat them, which is a interesting risk reward, because it's like, can I afford to take the attack defense debuff here? Or is it better for me to just take the damage and heal it off? But also, because anything in your inventory is throwable, you can throw your rotten peach at a monster, and now they get the debuffs. So, like, you can see something that's especially scary, and, like, you already have the rotten shit on you. Like, it's probably not best if you eat it. Just make them eat it. And you can just do that. Everything in the game has, like, this meticulous level of quality where everything has a distinct interaction in multiple states. And that's really fucking cool. It is pretty difficult because the game is adamant about not really telling you this stuff. There is a digital manual that you can read. It's available on the Switch version. I'm almost certain that the same thing is available on Switch. But I did not read it. I wasn't going to. I wanted to play the game. But there's a lot of really cool stuff. And even if, like, you die, for example, like on your roguelike or whatever, let's say you got to some place and you die, there's a system where you can, you know, preserve your progress over time. Like, for example, naturally when you die in a dungeon, you just lose your inventory. All of it's gone. You are dragged back to, like, the town at the base of the tower, and you have none of your shit with you. But you can, say, tag your weapons so that, like, the lost and found guy will, like, pick them up and return them to you if you get to them again. Let's say you didn't do that. Let's say you end up on a run where you have max level weapons and you put a lot of time into them and you fucked up. You bit off a little too much that you could chew and you died. That sucks, and you can start over, but what you could do is put in a rescue request. And then some other person who also owns the game who can, like, basically find you on the internet and revive you so that you can pick up where you left off, or you just get a free, like, get out of jail free card, because once you respawn, there's a fucking escape scroll next to you. So you could just, like, get up, pick up the scroll, and then leave, and then plan your next run. And that shit's really cool. It feels like a game that is, like, initially unfriendly. It's a game that doesn't really want to tell you what it's about because it is shrouded in mystery, but there is just an infinite amount of depth that is, like, present in this fucking video game. And it's really cool. I'm glad I get to play it now because I wasn't going to buy a Vita to play it.
Okay, now I'm really tempted to buy the Switch port.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
This is a game that I played on the Vita.
I believe that. That makes sense to me.
I remember reading the quote that made me want to play this game, which was Austin Walker, who is one of my favorite game critics.
Oh, yeah.
Said, Shiren the Wanderer, the Tower of Fortune, is the game that made me be at peace with my own impending death.
Ooh, that's fun.
And I was like, fuck.
That's a pretty strong conviction for a game that isn't Spiritfarer.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, Brandon, if you ever die, just, like, DM me your, like, rescue code, because, you know, I always have Undo Grass. Like, now I just stock them up. I don't even, like, say them anymore. But, oh, actually, that's not true. Like, I have a bunch of Revival Grass, but I'm trying to get this Scout bracelet because I run, like, Monster and Item bracelet at the same time, and I'd rather, like, consolidate that slot.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. I can lend you some. It's fine.
Tegan, did you get Shiren? Tegan, play Shiren. Actually, I don't know. Play Shiren, but read the manual first. Play Shiren, but read the manual first.
Yeah.
All right, I can do that.
Tegan, play this fucking video game. It's very, very good. One of the very first things that was said about Breath of the Wild, which I wholeheartedly agreed with, was that Breath of the Wild, in addition to owing an enormous debt to Far Cry 2, in the way that it was designed, also owed an enormous debt to Shiren the Wanderer.
I'm interested in this.
One of the things that makes Shiren very, very good is, like, what you were talking about, Rocky, like, the way that, like, the various systems interact with each other, like passing over a trap and it rots your food. But now this food can stop stamina depletion, but also debuff you, or you can hurl rotten food at enemies to debuff them. An enemy that, like, consumes things, and if you throw more than one thing at him, then he's going to combine them like rune slots on a weapon. Like, Shiren has all of these different, like, layered systems that sit on top of each other, which are mechanical, they're behavioral, and, like, one of the first things that, like, I guess I had to just figure out in Shiren was just, movement.
Sure. Yeah, but, like,
yeah.
Oh, Brian, also a thing that will probably change your video game life forever. The first thing you should figure out in any video game is movement, and it'll make everything easier.
Yeah. But, like, it definitely, like, moving in Shiren feels a lot like chess.
Right.
Each individual discrete movement is something that you have to plan for. I'm going from here to here, but if I move from here to here, that enemy is going to move there. Like, it's very patient. It's very thoughtful. And Breath of the Wild is a system where you can mix it up with a camp of baddies by, like, shooting a bomb arrow into their camp, which sets the nearby grass on fire, which causes hot air, which means that you can then, like, pop your glider and just let it rise you out of the fight because hot air rises.
For sure.
The thing which drives your, like, hostile weapon in Breath of the Wild, it can then also be the thing that activates your escape route because now you've caused air to heat.
I get that. I think the major thesis behind, like, Shiren the Wanderer, there's a level in progression in a lot of video games where if the game decides it's going to be difficult, it tells you it's not going to be difficult forever because you will become strong enough to make this trivial. You know what I mean? And, like, I'm not sure if I'd say that Shiren makes everything trivial. There are definitely situations where you'll, like, walk through areas and blow up everything. But instead of, like, focusing on that as, like, a development standpoint, it seems much more interested making sure that no matter what happens, there's something you can do in response. That, like, whatever happens, there is not necessarily an answer, but, like, a new avenue of action that you're capable of.
Right. Yes. The power fantasy in Shiren isn't, I'm level 9 zillion, where you just walk into a room, kick everything in the dick, and walk out.
Right.
The power fantasy of Shiren is similar to the power fantasy of Breath of the Wild, which is you're like, I now have a strong enough understanding of how all of the systems interact with each other that, like, I am able to think up really cool and innovative solutions to, like, the bullshit that this game would present to me.
Mm-hmm.
There is something that feels really great in Breath of the Wild where you, like, say, stack a minecart on top of a sheet of metal and then stand in the minecart and then cause the sheet of metal to hover. So you're like, hooray, look at me, I'm now flying around Hyrule like some kind of asshole. That's a lot of fun. Like, giant herds of enemies that before might have, like, posed a combat challenge for you, you can now just fly over them like a dickhead. These are both games that say, think up solutions. You're never necessarily going to be infinitely stronger. I mean, like, yes, like Breath of the Wild, like, if you keep on solving, like, little dungeons, like, giving you more hearts if you ask for them. But, like, also, like, you get all of your puzzle-solving tools before you leave the Great Plateau. Like, here are your tools. Here's what you're going to use to solve situations in this game. And it's cool to, like, have games where, like, the power curve is you just getting smarter with interacting with the systems. It's so deeply satisfying. Tegan, play this game.
Maybe for you.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's my favorite.
I like getting really, really strong and kicking everything shit in 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
That's why I like playing sorcerers.
I mean, both are definitely fun. Like, there is something hilarious about, like, walking into a room in Skyrim, Fusra doing, like, a bunch of guys to death. Like, it's a good time. I just think I enjoy, you know, being like, I figured out how to lull you hard. I think I might like that a little bit more.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. As some of you may know, I have built a new computer. I'm almost done paying it off. And one of the things, because I've been reluctant to buy, like, new $60, or I guess possibly $70, like, HD video games, I've been playing League of Legends, because I already have an account and it's free. League of Legends is, like, a little different than when I left it about 5 years ago. The people are still mostly terrible. I tend to prefer playing with my friends and not much else.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, now that I can play the game at like 200 frames a second, I can agree that it's easier. A lot easier for me to play this video game. And I still maintain that this game is actually gated by hardware. Like, sure, you can load into a game on a potato, but, like, if you're playing the whole game at 40 frames and you go into 15 frames at, like, team fights, like, that's not playing the game. Like, it's just not, because I'm better somehow than you in this space. And that's dumb. That shouldn't be real. But there have been some things that I've been fucking with that seemed fine. Like, I've been mostly playing bot lane because that's what I played when I left, but I still know support. Apparently, it's not that hard.
It's not. It really isn't. Honestly.
They put together a new, item rework, and, the items are a little different, but they're not that different. I'm not sure if I've noticed a difference between mythic items. For reference, mythic items are super powerful ones, and they're supposed to be your bespoke item, essentially. You can buy multiples, but the first one that you buy affects all the other ones. So you can hold up to 6 items in a game, and if your mythic items add attack speed, the other 5 mythic items are just going to add attack speed in addition to whatever they actually do. And I am just about done with my placements. I think I'm on 9 of 10, and I'm probably going to end up in bronze 3, which is fine because I haven't played ranked in 5 years, so whatever. Also, I think I stopped playing before Iron became real, if I remember correctly. So there's that. But I'm not good at the game, but I'm probably going to be better with new hardware. So before, there was a really harsh yo-yo effect in ranked play, where if you won a game, you got somewhere between 14 and 30 points on your ladder. And if you lost a game, you lost somewhere between 20 and 26. And now, if you win a game, you get 40 points, or at least that's how it's showing up in placements. But if you lose a game, nothing happens. You just stay where you are, which is nice. I think that feels better, even if it's functionally not different. League of Legends still remains a, interesting, intricate game. There's a lot going on. I'm not sure, about its strategic depth currently, because it feels as far as roles go, it's pretty straightforward. There are still a billion characters, maybe about a third of them matter. But, good players win with their favorites, and I will always stand by that. Shoutouts to Anthony Kuhn, who still plays fucking Singed. And, I haven't seen Singed on a tier list since, fucking 2012.
Yeah, mood, honestly.
The game is still weird. It's wild. And they seem to be buttoning themselves up more. But it seems only okay. I mean, I'm glad that it's free. I don't think I would have ever paid money to play League of Legends, even though I've definitely paid money for, cosmetics and stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like paying for cosmetics is different than, paying for a game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I will always have a deep appreciation for games that aren't pay to win, but are pay to, look pretty.
Yeah, pay to customize. Yeah.
Yeah, that feels fine to me. Also, how long ago did you start replaying?
It's been about a month, actually.
Okay, so why didn't you tell me about the new skins for Lux and her big new Star and Dark Star skins?
Okay, so
why?
Tegan, the only reason I didn't tell you is because I did not know about them.
She's beautiful.
I believe you.
I went through the skin art. There's a website that just does here's the background information and the lore for all the characters, because we know you don't give a shit about the actual game. And it was just all the skins, and I'm like, oh my god, she's beautiful. What the hell?
I mean,
why didn't
Lux
Rocky
is hot.
tell me she's beautiful?
I think Lux is actually the second champ I ever played after Riven. And fair. I want this on the record.
Also, you know what? Valid, though.
I wanted to play top lane because I didn't want to play bot lane. Now I play exclusively bot lane. But I wanted to play top lane because okay, people don't bother me. I just get to hang out up here by myself. If someone needs help, I can show up. That sounds like me. That sounds like what I want to do. And I looked at all the top champions that are in meta and whatnot.
Right.
And all of them were just and I didn't have the words for it back then, but it's just a bunch of toxic masculine bullshit.
Yep.
And I hated it. And the only character that was in the tier list that I could suffer the experience of playing was Riven. Because Riven seemed cool. And then I read some of her backstory and I'm oh, okay, I could vibe with this. She fights with a broken sword, and I was also on the tail end of the Homestuck kick, if people get that.
Yep.
I was just yeah, I could play Riven. And then I played Riven, and Riven's nuts because she has a perfect kit. She has a perfect kit to this day. The only reason she's not top tier is because they spent 2.5 years nerfing her. That's not an exaggeration. It's on the books. Look it up. That's also part of why I gravitated to Faker as a player. Faker would just show up in matches and walk into 4v1s and then walk out alive with 12 HP. And that was just the coolest shit I'd ever seen in my life. just like the whole meme of just like in a random match and like they saw Riven and she started going nuts and they're just like, is that Faker? And then they would die and they're just like, oh no, that's not Faker. Like it couldn't be him. Faker would never die. He's the unkillable demon king. And oh my God. League of Legends led to a lot of really cool stories and has some cool shit. I just hate most of the people that play it. Is that fair? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fair. Yes, it absolutely does. It absolutely makes sense. The people, if like you aren't playing with your friends in League of Legends, everyone's a dick.
Dude, it's just like, it's so bad.
You can make friends with the people who are playing there. You just gotta be like very careful. You gotta get some good games together so you realize that like your play styles are synergizing. Then you can be friends.
True.
But not before you have those good plays.
And the last thing I want to talk about is not a video game. It's definitely a glorified Supreme drop. The apparel distributor Hypland announced a collab with Inuyasha, the anime.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it's an official collab. They're not bullshitting or anything. That dropped earlier recording day. And I picked up some stuff that I'm really proud of. For people who are on our Patreon, the shots of what I bought are actually in the last page of our show doc. And I'm very excited for them to arrive. I got a Inuyasha red acid-washed tie-dye hoodie.
Oh, that's fucking great.
And I got a pair of Sesshomaru sweatpants with dye end legs of canary yellow and sky blue, which are entirely my vibe, and I can't wait to integrate them into my wardrobe.
I also can't wait for you to integrate them into your wardrobe, because, like, these are awesome.
Right? Oh my god. The drop was so good.
When the freaking Impossible Coin meetup actually happens, we're gonna look like those shots that are, like, all of the gays meeting up for brunch.
I'm so down.
You know?
I'm so down.
It's just gonna be wildly different.
Also, on the show doc, on my banter, the lookbook for the Inuyasha collab is hyperlinked. This Kikyo half tie-dye shirt looks pretty dope, though.
God, it is. I freaking hate Kikyo, but she's great. Gosh darn, she does always get the good art stuff.
There's a lot of people that hate Kikyo, but honestly, I understand her. It makes sense. I mean, Kagome is definitely the goat or whatever. Also, the Kagome tie-dye hoodie and sweatpants are fucking godlike. But, like, you know, Kikyo's alright. She has a really good vibe to her.
An anime came out about all their kids, Brian.
It's true, Yashahime.
Yep.
I gotta catch up. I think I'm only on episode 3 right now.
I do too, but I'm waiting for my flight attendant friend to get back.
Ah, true.
So that we could watch, like, in the same time zone and not, 9 hours apart or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Alright, Brian, what have you been up to, man?
Hitman 3 is a video game.
It's true.
Is it a very good video game or just a pretty good video game?
Hitman 3 is one of the best video games I have played in my life.
Okay.
Amazing. Thank God. I'm so glad. I'm happy for you, Brian.
One thing that I very much like about the Hitman Revival trilogy is the way that IO continues to learn lessons from each individual level. They're just taking a look at like enormous pools of user data from like the way people have approached previous levels and designing new experiences which say like, okay, so you think you like, okay, motherfucker, so you think you understand Hitman? Here's a slice.
That sounds like fun.
There are things that 47 is finding out about himself as he like travels through this crucible, things he's finding out about his handler, Diana, all in the effort to like bring down Providence, which is like the hidden hand, which has controlled the world. And then like the one guy who was like shadow controlling Providence, who then goes on to like shadow control the ICA, which is the assassins organization that 47 works for. From like a gameplay perspective, old Hitman players, people who came to the series before me, who were like, ha ha ha, Hitman and Hitman 2, they don't have elevators. Hitman has forgotten how to do elevators. And in the very first level in Hitman 3, which takes place in Dubai, you're in a fictional skyscraper, which is like taller than the Burj Khalifa. So I took to calling it the Wiz Khalifa.
Nice.
You're in the Wiz Khalifa after like a tense moment where you get locked in the server control room because you pulled on the wrong rack. One of the things that you can do is turn on the elevators in the building. So it's kind of like IO saying to like the internet crowd, like, oh, you thought we forgot elevators, huh? Here's your fucking elevators.
You want an elevator that bad? You got an elevator. Now what? Ha-ha!
The elevators kind of like present themselves as these like very, very dangerous spaces, because when you're just traveling vertically in this closed box, you don't really have any control over when that door is going to open, if anybody's going to be waiting to get on top. You kind of discover very, very quickly, elevators go straight up and down, but they're very, very dangerous because you can't control who's going to be waiting for it, who's going to be looking at it when the doors open.
Mm-hmm.
It is much smarter to like either take stairs or like go out a window and like shimmy up and down, walls, that kind of thing, like to enter into situations where you have more control over the space.
Like the professionals.
Exactly. It's kind of like the game makes elevators available to you and then scolds you for ever asking why weren't they there in the first place, which like kind of feels like a very, very meta interaction with the fan base. You wanted them, you've got them. Here you go. And all the risks that they entail.
Now don't you feel dumb?
Exactly. The first level starts to like do like stuff which is very, very classic good Hitman, wandering around like a large physical space and discovering the small stories that it has to tell. And the way I killed my targets in this level was to create a situation which forced the two partners of Providence to think that they had to meet in the penthouse suite of the building. So like I forced this meetup to occur, which then required me to like ascend to the top floor unseen and then find a way to like stroll into the room where they were meeting. And then once I was in that room, my handler caused the steel shutters that surround the room to drop, so that way they were trapped in there with me. And one of like 47's brothers, because like, okay, so 47 is like the subject of this like genetic experiment. He technically has 5 fathers. Part of the whole like ridiculous, complicated Hitman lore.
5 dads?
Yes.
He does have 5 dads. Confirmed.
5 dads!
Yes.
Man, I thought I was doing well with 3.
Right. And the reason he is 47 is because he was the 47th experiment.
He's got 46 brothers?
Yes.
Are they all brothers?
Yes.
That's too many. Christmas is nuts.
So one of the earlier experiments now goes by a regular people name and not a number, Lucas Gray. Lucas Gray like pipes into the video feed to like scold these guys. Be like, you guys suck. You had this coming, which then like makes them aware that this is exactly what it is. And I'm like, all right, so now I got to kill these guys, but I need to kill these guys in a way that allows me to just stroll out this room. So naturally, what Brian does is shoot the chandelier above their fucking head while they're standing there getting scolded by the television. And I'm so glad that the game had dialogue ready for like somebody who would do that. At which point Lucas like looks to me from the screen and goes, "Oh, impatient 47. You can't wait for me to finish my monologue," because you know that once they finish the monologue, they're going to start like running around trying to figure out a way to get out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I got the experience of wandering out to like a driving range on the second highest floor of this ridiculously tall building, changing back into my parachute jumpsuit and just jumping off this giant building. And it all felt incredibly cool. Now, that all said, the next level is probably the best Hitman level I've ever experienced, which is Dartmoor Manor, an English countryside manor. The building is just ridiculously full of hidden secret passages, which are not represented on the map.
Oh, hell yeah.
So there's like a matter of like wandering the map and trying to find like, oh, if I pull up this book in the bookcase, it'll open this secret passageway. Or if I put this cane in the floor here and twist the cane, it'll reveal this secret passage. The matriarch of the Carlyles has called a private detective to try and solve the death of her brother who died overnight. And allegedly it's a suicide, but, Madame Carlyle doesn't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
If you get the costume of the detective before anyone has met him, then you can stroll the house talking to people, interviewing people, collecting clues, and this whole level has this like mystery solving layer, which none of the other levels do. It basically is like LA Noire where you can do secret murders.
Could you solve the mystery
Yes.
instead of doing the murder?
I mean, you still need to kill your target,
Ah.
but you definitely can put in the work and find out who killed the brother and also surface a whole bunch of other stuff about this family. And there was stuff I was doing as part of solving the murder. I was like taking raw poisonous plants and like turning them into like more potent liquids. There's like interviewing the fucking butler, going through the fireplace in the butler's office, just strolling through the staff areas, figuring out that a member of the staff has been like sleeping with a younger member of the family.
That's scandalous.
Exactly.
What the fuck?
And so there's this whole like Agatha Christie meets the Crown kind of quality to like this level. And in addition to that, like the whole level is like absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, rich, dark colors as you're wandering down like the inside of the house. And if you go outside, all of these gnarled, twisted trees, which are kind of spooky. And because Madame Carlyle knows that the other two Providence partners were murdered in the previous mission, what she's trying to do is fake her death to avoid assassination. And so one of the other things that you can do is subdue the Undertaker, who is there to preside over Madame Carlyle's fake funeral, because she thinks that if she has a funeral, whatever assassin won't show up to kill her because, like, well, she's obviously dead already. And so, like, there's this, like, great story that you can play through about being the Undertaker, which, like, gives you an opportunity to kick Madame Carlyle into the fake grave that she's had dug for herself, which is fantastic. And there's an entirely other story, which is, like, really, really deeply satisfying, about how Madame Carlyle, because she knows that she's going to have to be on the lam from now on because of the stuff with Providence, has arranged for one last family portrait to be taken today. And so there is a photographer there to take the family portrait. You can run through the story of becoming the photographer for the family portrait. All of this is like very just gigantic level, which kind of like feels like Swiss cheese in the way that it's laid out. Like there's like tons of different interesting spaces that are, you know, layered on top of each other. The way that the rights privileges for various outfits is distributed is very, very interesting. Like, you know, kitchen staff can go here, house staff can go here. Yes, the butler can go anywhere, but just about everybody knows what the butler looks like, which means just about everybody is an enforcer for the butler.
Mm-hmm.
There's tons going on. And then, like, to add to that, you know, the whole, like, component of solving the mystery, there's just so much meat on the bone in just this one level. I spent 12 hours in my first pass through of this level.
That's a lot of hours to spend in one level, and I'm very glad I had that much content, but like, wow, that's a lot of content for one spot! You know?
That's definitely consistent with, like, the way Hitman works. When you hear, oh, well, a Hitman game has 5 to 6 levels, you know, like, most people go like, what? That doesn't sound like a lot of video game. But
it's how you utilize your time in those levels.
Yes.
And it's about the stuff that they put in those levels
Yes.
that really makes it more than just, like, just because it's 5 levels doesn't mean it's 5 hours of gameplay.
Right. There is a density to the space, a density to the experience. Like, there's a lot going on. It's such a radical departure from, like, the first space to the second space. Like, the experience of roaming this, like, English country manor was, like, nothing like this, like, futurist Dubai skyscraper.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third level was the most, like, anxiety-driving, bite my nails, have to pause it to get up and walk around, panic-inducing fuckfest.
In a good
And
way?
I loved it. Yes. So after the events of the second mission, Lucas Gray is killed. And your handler of years, the person who brought you into the ICA in the first place, Diana, stops responding to you. And the reason for this is it turns out that one of your earliest missions for the ICA was to kill Diana's parents. And now Diana has been made aware that you killed her parents.
Oh no.
So that has turned the person who has been your handler for as long as you've been an assassin against you. And Lucas, the guy who knows about all the weird shit, the Five Fathers and all that stuff, that guy's been killed. And so the only person you have who might be able to help you is this hacker who is in league with Lucas. And so, like, you just kind of get dumped into the outskirts of Berlin. And the Berlin level just, like, starts you beside this, like, gas station out in the woods. And you're just like, where the fuck am I even supposed to go? And so I just started, like, wandering down this, like, path in the forest. And it didn't take long to have a guy with a flashlight walk by who had a headset in, who was talking about wanting to find and kill me.
Oh.
Right. At which point the level exposes what kind of experience it's going to be. You have no map of the space because you have no handler, so you've got no map you can immediately consult. And what is going on is that the ICA has sent agents.
They're here for you.
They're here for you. You don't know anybody by name because you don't know who the ICA sent. And so you're just trying to, like, roam this rave. It's a fucking rave at a disused nuclear power plant. So you're wandering around this space, which is full of people, which means that there's not a lot of privacy. And you will discover people who are there to kill you. And every one of them knows what you look like. So it does not matter what costume you are wearing. The people who are there to kill you can see through every costume you can put on. So you need to, like, wander the space and try and get close enough to make the people there to kill you and confirm their identity without them seeing you, and then find ways of getting them away from the crowd without them seeing you so you can kill them.
So that's basically like, hey, you've been playing this game for 3 or 4 iterations. Let's see how well you learned.
Pretty much. Like, it is...
Oof. That sounds stressful as fuck.
Yeah, it is no joke.
I don't know that I'd like it if my video game gave me a final, you know? I mean, I would appreciate it from, like, a storytelling perspective, but, like, man, I don't know what I'm doing.
Brian, did you feel like you were prepared?
I did.
That's good, at least.
It felt good. And, like, you can just keep on wandering the space until you find all of the ICA agents who are there. But what the game does is, like, after you kill 5 ICA agents, the ICA is like, okay, let's pull out our assets. It's not worth it. We don't want to lose anybody else trying to kill 47. There are 10 total agents in the level, and you only need to kill 5.
So it's a final, you only need a 50, Tegan. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, that's not so bad, I guess.
There was definitely one guy who I just could not fucking figure out how to dislodge his ass, because basically all he does is stands just off of one of the dance floors at the rave, arms folded, staring at the dance floor, occasionally talking to another guy who's doing very long laps.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you kill the guy who does very long laps, who means he never shows back up, that guy never moves. He's just standing there staring at the dance floor. And I was just like, fuck. I'm like, there are easily 100 witnesses in this room. And I can't just, like, drop an explosive behind your asshole, because when the explosive goes off, it's going to kill other people near you.
But they all want to kill you, right?
No, it is a rave. Most of the people who are there to dance and do drugs. There are 10 people there who want to kill you, and everybody else is just there to have a good time. Yeah. So if you set off a bomb behind this guy, it's going to kill a bunch of innocent people. So I could not do that. I could not do that and preserve my silent assassin rating. Yeah. So something else which they brought back is titles for how you play levels, which are based on playstyle. So, like, the game will recognize how you like to finish a level and then give you a title based on that. When I beat a level where I poisoned all of my targets, it gave me a venomous silent assassin rating.
Okay. That is neat.
Yep. And in one level, I finished it by setting my target on fire, and I got called a firebug in my ranking screen. I am currently into the game's 4th level, which is Chongqing, China, and there were 2 targets in the level and then a 3rd objective. I have to kill these 2 targets and then hack the ICA's data center. And hacking the data center isn't available until both targets are dead. because as long as they're alive, the data center is protected by like biometric controls tied to their identities. And if you kill them both, then it reverts to an older system, which is hackable.
All right.
And so, like, where I'm at in the level right now is I've killed my 2 targets, and I have hacked the data core. But once I hacked the data core, it put the ICA data center into a lockdown, at which point Hitman asked me to do something which it doesn't normally do, which is like, you're going to need to escape through the vent system. And so I'm like traveling through the vents, like above people's heads, like trying to make sure that like the sound of me moving in the vent isn't too loud, traveling from vent to vent, getting into like service areas, traveling up service ladders, and then getting into other vents in an effort to try and get out of the building, like now that everyone's swarming, looking for me, and no costume will disguise me in the building at all. So I have to get out through the vents. And I was like, oh, I'm like, this is a lot. I got to go record. Yeah, I originally messaged the group saying like, hey guys, can we push recording to a half hour later? Because I was trying to get out of this fucking building, but I was like, you know what? This building will keep. I will save. I will come back to this later. The level is huge and beautiful. It reminds me a lot of Sapienza.
It's everyone's favorite level.
The way that it's like a large urban space with like major points of interest. Only the points of interest are the ICA data center. And then there's like this creepy fucker named Hush who's performing like unethical medical experiments. So there's like Hush's laboratory and the data center. And then there's like other spaces where it's interesting to find out like the way that the other spaces interact with the data center or the laboratory. Like there's a homeless shelter. It turns out where Hush is getting the people that he's experimenting on.
No.
And so it's like, you see, that's what makes it feel really fucking good when you kill.
No, that's so bad though.
But then you get
that's evil shit.
Exactly, which means that like one of the things that Hitman is very good at is making you feel real good about the people you're going to kill. You're like, fuck this guy has it coming. You know that like, oh, like he had it coming. Like just
from Chicago.
Yes,
it's like P5, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, fair, yeah.
Right, and like Hitman is really good at that. Hitman makes you feel just fucking great about like killing people. In this level, the other person that you have to kill is this woman named Imogene Royce. And Imogene Royce she's like, it's just so expensive for the ICA to like do forward reconnaissance and have remote handlers and maintain people on staff. In the event of like an assassination becoming public, doing PR cleanup and, covering stuff up for the media. So what we propose is algorithmically controlled terminations. And what we've been working on is a machine learning model to predict what will happen when our targets are killed and to determine the exact best way to kill our targets. So that way we can insert drones to kill the targets. So that way we can cut the assassins, the handlers, the reconnaissance, and the cleanup people out of the process and have the most profitable assassinations possible.
And
it's just like...
Okay, wait a minute. Wait, hang on. Like, I thought she was gonna be like, we're gonna get drones to do all that stuff, so we don't need the, like, forward researching department and shit. And no, she just made it worse. Now my drone from,
right,
big tech Tesla is gonna take me out in the middle of Subway.
And so she wants to demonstrate to you, because there's a story you could do in the mission where there's a guy whose job is to come like audit the security measures of the data center for the ICA.
Uh-huh.
And so it's possible to become the auditor before he arrives there, so that way you can get access to the building. And so I've become the auditor, and she's like explaining this fucking machine learning model to me. And she's like, and I want to just demonstrate the efficiency of the machine learning model for you. Here are 3 ICA employees, and our machine learning model has determined what will happen if they get fired. She's like, so what I want you to do is to select one of them to be fired, and then you can monitor what happens to them afterwards from this remote screen to see that they're going to do exactly what happened that we predicted.
What the fuck?
And so,
hey, no, that sucks.
No, it does suck, yes.
That sounds like the actual future. I hate it.
right.
Oh my god.
So you feel real good killing Imogene Royce. There's a failsafe in the data core area where if the core is breached, the core room is designed to vent to prevent overheating.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the people it's predicted, she's like, and if this person is fired, our prediction is that she will attempt to sabotage her work before leaving because we believe that she thinks that if I can't be recognized for my work, then no one deserves to have my work. That's what we believe she'll do. And I'm like, so Imogene, you heartless monster, if I press the fire this woman button, then what she's going to do is sabotage the failsafes in the data core so when it starts to overheat, it won't vent, meaning that anybody who's in the room when the data core is breached is going to overheat and die from the increase in temperature in the room.
And she's like, yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, so it sounds to me like if you are in that room, Imogene, when that happens, that would be a little bit of poetic justice. Am I right? So yeah, I basically cooked Imogene by trapping her in the room when the data core was breached. She had it coming. She only had herself to blame.
If you'd have been there, if you'd have seen it.
Yeah, it's fucking fantastic. Like, there's so much meat on the bone. There's things in this level which are, again, like new ideas for Hitman. In this level, there are cameras which are attached to drones. I'm used to in Hitman cameras being stationary objects which pivot back and forth. Like maybe in a hallway or above a door, like, here's a camera. It like rotates with like a limited range.
Field of view.
Field of view. But like all over this level are like these drones flying around with cameras attached to them. Like, God, just fuck. I have to be even careful about shooting the fucking cameras because I'm like, I don't want to get caught by one camera while I'm shooting another. It feels safer inside of the incredibly secure data center or creepy medical experimentation place than it does out on the street. Because out on the street, I might get caught by the roving cameras. At least inside the buildings, I can know where the cameras are going to reliably be.
That's weird. Hey, that's weird.
But it's Hitman, remixing its experiences, changing the rules, and saying like, hey, if we change the rules in this way, is this interesting to you, the player? And it absolutely is. And this is the game which also like fully realizes the vision of what they've been describing all along, which is like all of the levels from the previous games, launching out of one launcher. So like there's the levels from Hitman 1 and Hitman 2, in the same game. All of my unlocks, all of my progression from Hitman 1 and Hitman 2 are in this game. So when I started the game, I already had tools I had earned from Hitman 1 and Hitman 2. Better guns, better explosives, a variety of poisons. So I already had all that stuff, which was cool because it meant like I could go in with my preferred loadouts and be like, all right, I'm going to try and crack this nut. And it's also very, very fun to go back and see just the overall changes to the rules that they've made for Hitman 3, how they have impacted levels in Hitman 1 and Hitman 2. One of my favorite toys that they've introduced in Hitman 3 is this micro emitter that you can place on a wall. It's about the size of like a quarter. You can stick it there and it has a remote control. And when you hit the remote control, it releases a gas, which is an emetic poison, which makes people want to barf. So it's very, very fun to like place this emetic remote control somewhere and then just like change routes of people who historically have been very hard to change the route of by making them like have to go barf at weird inconvenient times.
Okay. Brian, can you tell me a little bit about Hearthstone?
Hearthstone fucked up this week in a fun way.
Tell me about it.
They rolled out their Chinese New Year stuff early.
What?
Oh.
What?
Do they not know when the Chinese New Year is?
They don't.
Apparently
Clearly
not. Like, all of a sudden, they gave everybody the Happy New Year emote, and everybody thought it was hilarious because it is very clearly not New Year.
Mm-hmm.
It's not either New Year. Like, you're off by both.
Double New Year, double fuck up. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's so, like, people have been using as their, like, BMing emotive sure. Like, Happy New Year! Like, in addition to that, they rolled out the New Year free pack quests, where it's like, do these, like, bonus quests and get free packs of cards. Oh, you don't have to tell me twice, Hearthstone. And so, like, I've been racking up, like, free packs, and Activision was like, yeah, we fucked up. This was supposed to be for Chinese New Year. Anybody who completed the quest, you get to keep your packs. We're not going to take your packs away. But hey, we tell you what, when actual Chinese New Year's comes around, you're not getting those quests again, Buddy Roo, if you finished them. And I'm like, fine, whatever. Like, but, like, somebody literally just flipped a switch early. And so there has been, like, a measure of confusion in the game this week where people are like, what? Why does Hearthstone think it's New Year's? Especially since there is also a thing in Hearthstone, which is Hearthstone New Year's, which is when cards are getting retired and stuff like that. And so there was, like, people initially freaking out, like, hey, does this mean that Hearthstone New Year is happening much earlier? Like, what's going on? And they didn't get any messaging out around it for days. Just, like,
Oh, no.
what a bunch of fuck-ups. What a bunch of fuck-ups. But it was funny, at least.
Meanwhile, we're over here going, like, Genshin New Year coming up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to get a Super Mario Brothers Game & Watch.
Okay.
Yeah, I was frosty when those things came out, and they immediately got bought up at the time by a bunch of people who were like, yeah, baby, you're going to put it on eBay for $150. And that market depleted real fast, which meant that it got restocked at retailers. And so I ordered one from GameStonk, who had it delivered to my house. And so now I have the very cute Super Mario Brothers Game & Watch. And I don't know whether to be ashamed or not, but I like everything about it. I like its very pretty old-fashioned box, which is designed to look like a 40-year-old box.
Mm-hmm.
I love the color of the device. I love the way that the device looks. And honestly, I just wish Nintendo would make more shit like this. It looks like a cool little toy, and I'm like, God, if Nintendo made a bunch of Game & Watches that were, like, based on their NES titles whenever their various NES titles, like, hit, like, 35 years old. If this year they're like, please buy the Legend of Zelda Game & Watch, I would be there fucking day one. I would pick it up. Like, just...
So what you're telling me is it doesn't feel like a toy that would end up in a McDonald's Happy Meal.
It does not.
Okay.
It feels good. It feels nice. I'm also not usually one for keeping a thing in its box, but whenever I'm done playing with this thing, I put it back into its box and I put the box away. Like,
I feel like it's a generational thing, man. Like, I got my mom an Nendoroid. She doesn't want to open it. She thinks it's too beautiful. I can't tell her anything about it. She's my mom. What am I going to do?
Right.
It is too beautiful. She's not wrong.
I dig the way it looks. I dig the way it feels. It's cool to, like, play original Super Mario Brothers 2, the Fuck You edition. Play Ball, which is, like, a classic, like, Tiger Electronics, like, Fuck You game. All the little Easter eggs in the clock, you know, in the watch part are fun. I kind of wish it had a better way of, like, standing the clock up when it's outside of the box. You know, like a good kickstand would be nice. So that way, like, it could be, like, effectively displayed and used as a clock well. But, like, I think overall it is nice. It does not feel the shit that was Super Mario 3D All-Stars. This actually feels like some people put some fucking effort in.
For sure.
Japan's pretty good, like, with collectible merch. You know? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like the collectible merch market and the people who actually play game market are treated very differently. Whereas I feel like in the US, and this is just me, but, like, the collectible merch is never as good as the, like, game itself. You know?
Yeah. I feel like the collectible merch is something that you can, like, notice on site, though. And, like, with games, it's more like, you're in. What are you gonna do now?
Right.
Well, now that you purchase the game, you can get a trigger warning that says maybe you shouldn't have bought it in the first place.
Right, honestly.
Okay, Brian, so I don't want to do this. I want that on the record. This isn't a thing that I want to do, but there is something on your banter that's listed Chicago Deep Dish, and I'm assuming you want to fight about it.
Is it a pizza?
Well, I mean, apparently that's a matter of debate.
Uh-huh.
I mean, those words, city and deep dish, are generally associated with pizza.
Earlier this week, I made a tweet which generated some...
Here we go.
What do you mean, here we go? Rocky, I want to say
Go
something.
ahead. Do your thing.
No,
You're doing
Rocky-
something. Go ahead.
Rocky.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
Okay. Earlier, full disclosure for our audience, there was an interaction recently where Rocky shared with me that he believes that I have a tendency to apologize excessively, and that he thinks that part of that might come from a desire to like temper my language because I'm, hesitant or worried about the way that people will respond to it. And it was something that I certainly took to heart. And I was like, gosh, there's probably something true there. And I think that might be just a reflexive, part of my own personality, because I have always worried about driving people away. But, Rocky's like charged, like nailing something to the door, like Martin Luther saying, Brian, speak your piece, is something which I have definitely taken to mind. And so I'm now going to talk about fucking pizza.
Please talk about pizza. I hunger.
So earlier this week, I made a fucking tweet where I want to make sure I quote myself correctly.
Brian, you always tweet at like 2 a.m, and I just want to let you know that every time I wake up a couple hours later and I see you tweeting at 2 a.m, I'm concerned.
Okay, first of all, that's not true anymore, Tegan. If you were to check my timestamps on tweets, that's not accurate anymore. It's simply not.
To be fair, it shows the timestamp based on what time you're tweeting my time.
Which means that right now we're only 2 hours apart, Tegan, which means that like if I'm tweeting at 2 a.m. your time, it's like midnight my time. That's fine.
But I always read it as 2 a.m, and I'm like, shouldn't you be in bed by then?
These days, I am generally getting a full 8 hours of sleep. I go to bed usually between 12:30 and 1, and I wake up at about 8:30 a.m.
Okay, then I will try not to worry anymore.
Yeah.
I still worry.
No, like, sleep has historically been a thing that I have struggled with, but right now...
Right now, we're good.
Right now, things are fine.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
Anyway.
I said, being horny is rude if you ever had good Chicago deep dish. To which Rocky replied, I appreciate you not calling it pizza. And he put pizza in quotes. Definitely taking a position. And there were a couple of responses to Rocky's response, which came from two friends of the show, Joe Spiro and Stuart Templeton. Stu said, it's true. If it's not a Pizza Hut dessert pizza from a buffet, it's simply not...
Yeah! He's right.
It's simply not a pizza at all.
Pizza Hut dessert pizza is absolutely a pizza, and I will die on that hill.
It is a pizza, but also, pop the brakes! Like fuck.
And Joe Spiro replied with the shaking fist meme.
From Arthur. It's the Arthur shaking fist meme.
The Arthur shaking fist meme.
Yeah, which I get because, he went to Northwestern. He spent a lot of time there. He probably, maybe was brainwashed into believing that weird lasagna is pizza. I totally understand. That makes sense.
So, there's some things I want to talk about here, Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
One, I agree that we need better language to distinguish between these different things.
Sure.
But until that better language exists, I think that the word pizza can be used to just communicate what the fuck you're talking about, because that's the way most people talk about it.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to say, and I'm not going to say anything else about it. I swear to God. One, if Chicago deep dish needs a new name that's not pizza, we can call it lasagna. It already exists. However, if people don't believe that is not sufficient, then I will make the words myself. On God. On mamas. Like, I swear! But that's it.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
Second, it seems like you specifically have some, hatred toward this food item. Am I wrong?
Hatred? No. Hatred's it's a really strong word. I just feel like it's disrespectful. I feel like it's not cognizant of the ingredients that are in play. And I feel like it should be described differently. But that's my personal opinion.
Okay. So something else which I introduced to the conversation was that I believe the thing which is currently called pizza that comes from California would also be better suited with another name.
I'd be interested in a new name for California type pizza.
Right.
What is California type pizza? Why is it different? I just want to know. I don't know what a California-style pizza is.
Okay. The crust is generally thinner, flatter, doesn't rise as much, but it's not what you would call like a thin crust pizza. Also, the distribution of cheese across the top is generally much, much lighter and is usually cooked in a wood-fired brick oven, meaning that you're getting a lot of like smoke and wood flavor in the crust.
Okay.
Stuff that you would like generally associate with like barbecue. You know, like...
Okay. And this is not a flatbread.
It's not quite a flatbread.
Right.
Okay.
I get the concern. While there are definitely California pizzas that are cooked on flatbreads, but what we're talking about specifically tends to use something more traditionally considered pizza dough.
Right.
Okay.
But maybe with less yeast is what I'd say.
Yeah, it's generally pizza dough with less yeast, and it's generally topped with stuff like leafy green vegetables, nuts, and artichokes, because that's all stuff that reacts really, really well to being cooked in a wood-fired brick oven.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to like convection heat or anything else.
Right, I got you.
Yeah, so it's like you're choosing a different assortment of toppings because they react to the way it's being cooked differently. The dough is different. There's less cheese. And like it's crisp in the mouth. Like you can feel like the dough crack when you crunch down on it.
So it doesn't like feel like straight up like regional? Because, I mean, that is a consideration, but it definitely feels like they made distinct choices based on the way that they chose to cook it, rather than the ways that they were able to cook it specifically.
Okay, I see. Still sounds like a flatbread, but I will trust you.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't sound like a pizza I would ever eat.
I mean, like, California pizza's fine. Like, it's not... But, like, I still contend that it is pizza, which is different from Chicago pizza. But their choice of toppings is more than like a regional dialect. It definitely feels like a different culinary choice.
I see.
There's stuff that you will find in pizza places in California which you will not find in New York or Chicago. Like somebody will say to you like, "Hi, hello, welcome to this pizza place. How would you like carne asada or oysters on your pizza?"
I do want to put on the record, while like they are allowed to put whatever they want on their pizza, I would still try to fight the people at that stand. Even if they're cashiers and it's just their job, I would try to, but I would remember myself because it's not their fault. Carne asada pizza, those motherfuckers.
That doesn't entirely sound like pizza. But also, what is the definition of pizza?
To be fair, I do also take issue with buffalo chicken pizza, cheeseburger pizza, and what's the other fucking dumb shit bullshit that I see sometimes?
Taco pizza?
Man, yeah! Taco pizza! I live in fucking El Paso and I don't eat fucking taco pizza.
If the name of your pizza is called Tex-Mex, you might as well call the menu item "So You're Too Lazy to Kill Yourself."
I also don't like Tex-Mex. Like, because Tex-Mex misses the point. Like, it doesn't understand what people are actually trying to make. It's just like, yeah, I guess we could throw this shit together. And it's just like, God, like, ugh.
But big shout outs to barbecue chicken pizza for being the worst fucking thing. Honestly. Like, if barbecue chicken pizza was a person, it'd be Donald Trump.
One day I ordered a pizza and like I wasn't paying attention because I was ordering through an app or some shit.
Right.
And I ordered a pizza and it was the meats pizza and I didn't realize
that
like the default sauce on the pizza was barbecue sauce.
Oh no.
And it ruined my entire night. Like I was just like, what the fuck? How did I do this? How did I not pay attention? Who am I?
Did you just open the box and like the dramatic music from Requiem for a Dream start playing? Like,
Brian, okay, so you're going to get this when you see JoJo's. There's a track that describes the theme for the protagonist. But there's a point where the protagonist theme gets like a Requiem like additive to it. And it's so drawn out and like painful. It's like,
for some reason, instead of that, I definitely pictured like the sad Naruto flute.
That works too. That is sufficient. Like, actually, I'm gonna put a video in chat, but Brian, continue.
Yep. I would also accept like if Rocky is standing at like a like a food truck which is selling California pizza, and somebody's trying to tell him to buy a pizza with oysters on it. If the Uma Thurman is about to kill someone music from Kill Bill starts playing, like
that works too. That is sufficient as well. I
Yeah.
will accept that.
Okay, but anyway, we got pizza beef. No beef on the... Maybe beef on the pizza?
Beef can be on pizza. That's not an issue. But when pizza's stacked in like 4 to 6 layers, I don't think that counts as pizza anymore. Some people disagree with me. And I think we probably need better language to describe the thin crust nonsense that the West Coast is doing. But I guess it's still pizza if it really wants to be. I'm gatekeeping pizza, whatever, fight me.
fuck. Okay, so like let's back up to calling it lasagna for a second.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's... okay, wait, hang on. I pulled up a picture, and this sure as heck kind of looks like a lasagna, or at least what I recognize as lasagna, but instead of noodles, there is bread.
Right. Correct. Which is, still carbs. It's all carbs, honestly.
It is still carbs, but it's not noodles.
I mean, sure, you don't boil it.
I feel like it's gotta be noodly.
Like, it doesn't need, moisture to become soft because it's already bread. But honestly, if you put bread in an oven and you put a wet cloth over it, it will re-moisturize.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So I was thinking about another possible name for it because I was trying to think about, what are other things that we could call it that kind of communicate the feeling for it? Because I think part of the reason I'm not into lasagna is because, lasagna doesn't have that, core crust all around the sides and bottom.
Sure.
There's nothing forming a bowl.
I see,
Okay.
I see, yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Okay, so I kind of want to, offer to the group, I want to make a motion for either the Chicago pot pie or the Chicago shepherd's pie.
I am actually cool with both, but well, hold on, Tegan, shepherd's pie is British, right?
Shepherd's pie is British, yes.
Okay, yeah. So I motion that we adopt the name for Chicago pizza as the Chicago pot pie. I will lend my support to that motion.
I am also okay with this, but my uncle who lived in Chicago can never find out that I supported this motion.
Tegan, okay, so here's the thing. I will solemnly swear, which is me, this is my force and my force alone, that I will never tell your Chicago uncle about our decision to name Chicago, in quotations, pizza, Chicago pot pie.
Okay.
There's so much rage in your heart, Rocky.
Rage is a really strong word here, Brian. It's just disdain. It's discomfort. It's disrespect.
It feels like you're about ready to wreck your congressman.
I mean, I could do that. I could use those words to do that. I don't know. I feel like we have a different bar for hatred, but that's okay. That's fine. I totally understand.
There is stuff I could see myself writing, say my senators about, dear Senator Cinema, I would like to talk to you about the fact that all of the sizes of drinks sold in movie theaters are larger than the fucking drink holders in the chairs. What's that shit about?
Brian, you need to watch Parks and Rec, dude. There's a whole bit where they talk about how there's a drink size that this fast food joint offers that's way too large. It's 512 ounces. No, I'm sorry. It's 128 ounces, and it's called a child size. And the spokeswoman for the company, I think they're called Sweetums, she states that no, it's because this beverage is the same size if you were to liquefy a 4-year-old child. And she said it with a straight face. She did not crack, Brian. She said it with her whole chest as she meant it. Like she was being paid for it, and trust me, she was.
Jesus. Thank you for coming to Impossible Coin's discussion of controversial Midwestern food items.
No, we haven't even gotten to Tegan, what's the thing called with the beans and the chocolate and the fries or whatever?
Beans, chocolate, and oh, wait, what are you talking about?
I'm not sure if it's beans. I might have made that up. But I know it was chocolate in a place where they shouldn't be, and it was with something that's normally savory.
Oh, you mean like when you dip your french fries in your milkshake?
No. It looks like a Frito pie or some shit. Maybe they served it in Canada? That's not right.
Oh, like poutine?
No, okay, it's sort of like poutine, but you know what? I'll find it later.
Rocky, are you angry at a food item and you don't even know what it is?
I don't remember what it is, but I know chocolate's involved in, like, potatoes.
Rocky,
I thought it was fries.
That already sounds good. The Japanese french fries for McDonald's and at Valentine's Day are, like, white and regular chocolate drizzle.
No, but I remember that because, like, you know, they
good.
don't let impurities in their fucking, like, vegetable oil. I'll look it up later.
So, speaking of Midwestern food items, Rocky, are you angry at Skyline chili?
Yes! Yes!
Oh, wait,
oh my
spaghetti.
God, Brian, that's exactly what it is!
It's spaghetti. It's chili on top of spaghetti with cheese and onions. That's it.
No!
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's all it is.
Oh, I feel like my brain's melting.
Okay, do you remember that part of The Hobbit where, like, Bilbo tells him...
Where they're like, what about second breakfast?
No, I was going to say...
Is that it?
No, the part where, like, Bilbo comes out and tells the armies that, you know, like, Smaug has exactly one missing scale in his hide, and if you shoot an arrow into that fucking hole, you could kill Smaug.
Yeah.
Skyline chili is that for Rocky.
Dude, I hate Skyline chili. I hate it so much.
Why do you hate it?
I oh my God, Tegan, have you seen it? I've seen, like, no,
I
of course you've seen it. You've eaten it in real life, and I don't understand.
What? Did you just accuse me of eating Skyline chili?
Tegan, have you not eaten Skyline chili?
I don't like chili.
Okay, then in that case, I sincerely apologize. Like, I did not, I misspoke, and I spoke out of turn.
It's okay. You could still be mad about Skyline chili and just know that I have never imbibed in it.
No, it's okay. That's what I mean. I'm sorry. I apologize for accusing you of indulging in Skyline chili. And I wish that I had not said that about you.
That's okay. I don't eat chili. I'm a very picky eater. I'm excited for the Impossible Coin meetup so that you guys can watch me not eat anything for like a week. You're just gonna be like, what have you had today? I'm gonna be like, a Frappuccino, and you're gonna be like, what else did you eat? I had a vitamin, I'm fine.
Oh my God. But yeah, no. Like, Skyline chili is the thing. That was the name of the thing that I had forgotten.
It's fucking funny.
Like, I definitely scrubbed it from my memory at some point. But, like, now it's here. I guess it's just, like, something I gotta reconcile. And I will deal with that. Because I'm an adult.
Okay, so what's the issue with Skyline chili?
Oh my God, fucking...
Is it the bean? Like, it's red beans in the chili, and then it's regular chili, and then you just put it on spaghetti. Instead of, I don't know, what do you usually put
So here's
chili
the
on?
thing. The main thing...
Hot dog, I guess.
Or rather, the basic thing is that, like, I dislike meat sauce as a concept.
Okay.
Specifically, right? But, like, meat sauce combined... What are these other ingredients? Oh my God. There's mustard, there's onion... No, that's not right. Like, it's basically a Skyline dog with spaghetti, is what I'd say. And, like, Skyline dog does some stuff that's, like, you know, iffy, but you're already eating a hot dog. That's the thing, you know? Like, it's divey by definition. But Skyline doesn't have that kind of, like, you know, dip. And conceptually, it's definitely just someone pushing the envelope, right? Like, this doesn't even seem like a survival meal. Like, things like chitlins, I totally understand, you know? Like, chitlins, for people who don't understand, are like salvage pig intestines. And it's because people that were eating the rest of the pig decided we're not going to eat those. And people decided we're going to eat these to survive. And then we're going to, like, conjure a unique flavor out of it so that it's palatable. And that makes sense to me. Like, I totally get it. I wouldn't pick chitlins on purpose, but if my family's eating chitlins, I wouldn't argue about it. Because, you know, it's traditions or whatever. But, like, fucking... I have no such tradition attached with Skyline chili. And, like, if that's just the history, I'd love to learn about it. But, like, it just feels like nonsense on a plate that they're serving to me as a joke. And it's like, why? Why would you give me this when you already have beef and cheese? You know what? It's, you know.
Do you like chili, like regular chili?
I do like regular chili. I don't put cheese on it. I have... I am a little picky about chili. I do want to ask about it and where it came from and what they're doing. But, like, if it's not just chili, I'm going to ask questions, specifically. If it's chili, I'm going to ask questions.
Okay, so it is chili.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can add the additives, the options to add to your plate are cheese, which, from my understanding, is a perfectly regular topping to add on your chili.
Sure.
And then
Here it comes.
onions,
Yep.
which is also a very valid option to add on your thing.
Here it
I don't
comes.
have beef with onions.
And then instead of just eating it straight out of a bowl, which is also an option, you don't have to have it, you put it on spaghetti. Just cooked spaghetti. That's it. Plain old cooked spaghetti.
I feel like that's my line. And
Is
like
this
that may
spaghetti?
sound weird, and that's fine. No, spaghetti. Yes, spaghetti specifically. I'll eat
Okay.
chili in a bowl, and that's cool. I'm not going to argue about it, because chili has a rich and diverse history, and also an exceptional diversity of flavor. And I feel like using... Actually, I don't think I need a carb with chili specifically, but choosing your carb to be spaghetti is something I specifically take issue with. And for one of you dipshits who decides to put their chili on top of penne or farfalle or fucking rotini, I'm going to hit you in the mouth. That's just what's going to happen. I swear to God.
Okay. Well, the good news is you can just eat Skyline chili or Cincinnati chili, I guess, not on spaghetti. You don't have to. That's just the way they do it in Cincinnati. For reasons that I don't entirely understand.
No.
But you can just eat it in a bowl.
I mean, I get that. It's like there's a place in town called House of Pizza, and they have actually a very good Reuben sandwich, right? Like, their pastrami is actually exceptional.
Does the restaurant look like the roof is made out of pizza?
No, it does not. It's not cheesy.
What the fuck? How dare?
But the place, like, it has a very good, like, Reuben sandwich. But every time I ask them if I want the pastrami sandwich, they ask me if I want lettuce and tomato on it, and I get upset about it. And it's just one of those things. It feels like they don't know, like the flavor profile of pastrami. And like, there's definitely a bunch of things you can put on it, but like the traditional choices are like pickles or sauerkraut and like mustard. But like, they always ask me lettuce and tomato because that's what they put on all their sandwiches. And I wish it was just this one person, because I've definitely been there over multiple years. Like, for the past decade. And literally, they always ask me, do you want lettuce and tomatoes on it? And maybe it's just the way that the store works, but it always feels dumb. And, like, I try to be nice about it. Sometimes I've been short about it in front of other people. But, like, it's always rubbed me the wrong way. Like, they're not paying attention to the order.
Hi, Rocky. Hi.
Hi, Brian.
How are you?
I am still alive.
Okay.
Maybe a little steamed.
A little bit. And I just wanted to share with you a little bit of the history, culturally, of chili in Cincinnati.
Okay.
Okay?
Is it because there was like a large Italian immigrant thing or something?
No. But you're on the right track, Tegan. Okay?
Oh. I'm sure they told me at some point when I was in Cincinnati and they were like, oh, you gotta have Skyline. I was like, why?
Okay. So...
I don't like chili.
So Skyline is a brand.
Okay.
Yes.
But...
Is the standard.
Right. And a lot of people will use the word Skyline chili interchangeably to describe the style of chili, the same way people call copies Xeroxes.
Sure.
The actual name of the style of chili is called four-way chili. Okay?
Yeah.
And four-way chili is a growth of Greek food.
Okay.
So there was an enormous amount of Greek immigration to the Cincinnati area.
Sure.
In the early 20th century, including the fella who founded Skyline Chili, immigrated to Cincinnati from Castoria, Greece. His name was Nicholas Lambrinidis.
Sure.
And he started a place that was serving four-way chili. And so the chili that he's serving, this Cincinnati chili, is intended to conjure the taste and texture of a Greek dish. Yes. Was further influenced by the large influx of Macedonian immigration to the Cincinnati area. And so that is how, like, Cincinnati...
Wait, no. Take a step back. What's the name of the Greek dish?
Okay, I'm pulling it up for you right now. I have been in the trenches researching the history of Cincinnati chili for us because we're doing hard-hitting programming here. Salsa-kima. S-A-L-T-S-A space K-I-M-A.
No. Okay, no. I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
I know what you're talking about. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, which is a ground beef topping, which is the most popular topping for spaghetti in Greece.
Right.
Yep.
No, that makes sense.
And so it appears to be that the history of Cincinnati chili is steeped in Greek and Macedonian immigration. And that is
interesting.
Part of the reason why the people of Cincinnati have such affection for it is it is tied to family heritage and history. That, like, it is a thing that people were eating to get a taste of home.
I think nowadays they just eat it because they like it.
That's fair. I can understand it. I'm going to try it. I'm going to give it an earnest shot.
You're gonna come over here?
At some point, sure.
You're gonna come over here, we're gonna drive 4.5 hours. Well, 4 hours.
Jesus.
3.5 if you're driving fast.
Okay.
And then we'll go to Cincinnati. That's what we'll do. We'll stop in Columbus. It'll be fine. You'll get to see the hell is real sign.
There is an entirely unrelated thing, which I think that we could all, with our full chests, say, this is a nightmare. Which is in 2018, Melt Eclectic Cafe in Cincinnati rolled out a beverage, a cocktail called the Manhattan Skyline, which was a Cincinnati chili flavored Manhattan.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I hate that.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I do hate that.
Because it seems to have no real attachment to the history of the chili. It seems to take two things which independently have distinct flavors and history and piss on both.
Right.
It's like, hey, this chili means a thing and this drink has a thing. Fuck both, you know? Fuck them.
Oh my god.
I think drinks that taste like meat are bad.
That's a good policy to have, Tegan.
I think that's where I lie on this. Like, that could be the best Manhattan in the world, but like, if it tastes like meat, it's gonna be garbage. Drinks shouldn't taste like meat.
Something I did find, which was interesting, Rocky, is that apparently in Cincinnati, the common parlance, despite the fact that like all other restaurants are called restaurants, in Cincinnati, places that serve chili are commonly called chili parlors, and I think that's kind of awesome.
Sure, I'll let them have that. Whatever, it's fine.
If they like specialize in chili,
yeah, like it's
they're
just
a
like
chili parlor.
It's a chili parlor.
But it's the same things like taquerias down here. Like I get it,
right.
But Skyline's just Skyline. It's only ever Skyline.
Right. And
you could be going for other chili, and you might still call it Skyline.
But apparently, one of the longtime chains of chili parlors in Cincinnati is a place called Gold Star Chili. And
oh God, no! You gotta pick a side. You cannot eat both.
I understand, Tegan.
Okay.
But the family that founded Gold Star Chili is apparently a Jordanian family. They were Jordanian immigrants, and at some point, the family decided to, return to Jordan. And so there are now Gold Star chilies in Jordan, Iran, Iraq, Libya, and Palestine.
Sure.
I'm just saying that I am here for the idea of this thing being like a synthesis of like immigrant cuisine. It's just so fucking cool. I love the idea of it, like this thing getting created here as a taste of somebody's home and then going back to like where this family came from, because they came over here, opened restaurants, and then they're like, oh, some of us are going to go home. We're going to go back, and we're going to take this fucking chili stuff with us. Apparently not enough of it to Rocky's satisfaction. They should have taken all of it with them. But
I mean, I feel like there should be a line where someone gets to decide, maybe not us, because, I haven't even tried Skyline chili, of like, what is synthesis and like, not. Because, like, I feel like there's so much, like, gray area between, like, Mexican food and, like, Tex-Mex, and I think it's because it's like specifically tied to places like El Paso.
Mm-hmm.
When I go to places outside of El Paso and like people tell me this is great Mexican food and I eat the shit and then I'm just upset because I'm like, what the fuck? This isn't fucking pastor. Where are the pineapples? They didn't even roast the shit over pineapples. So like, how can I call this pastor? And like to them, I look stupid. Like I look super picky to these people, but it's because they don't know what I know. And like, it's just dumb for everyone. It's an experience that I don't think any of us should have.
Yep. Like, I definitely have the same kind of experience. And you sound just like such a dickhead when somebody's like, hey, you want to go for Mexican? And you're like, can you please be more specific?
Right. Yeah. Like, I sound like the asshole, but I'm like, dude, like, I know what Mexican tastes like. And like, yeah, dude, we know. It's like, no, but you don't know. And that's the whole problem. And it's just like, ugh.
And you're like, and then when you like, because the thing is that just launching into the speech makes you feel like an asshole. You're like,
right.
You're like, hey, would you say, do you want to go for American? Because you like, then just, and you're like, oh no, this, and you're like, oh, I'm spiraling because like, I know that like, if I go to a place which is like, you know, started by people who are from Mexico City,
right?
It's going to primarily be a sandwich shop, but the sandwiches are going to be bigger than my fucking head. And there's a 50-50 shot that there's going to be fucking hot dogs on that sandwich. But you know what? It's great. It's fucking great. You know?
Yeah. No, I get it.
Like,
man, I'm real glad there's no Ohio food that elicits this response. What the fuck?
Apparently Cincinnati's in Ohio, Tegan, from what I understand.
Yeah, I know, but like Cincinnati chili is definitely like a Cincinnati thing. There's no Skylines north of Columbus. That's not a thing. Cincinnati chili is a Cincinnati thing. That's a regional thing in the state, not even like a regular thing in the state.
But what I will say, Rocky, is when you were in town, let's go for some fucking Moriscos, okay? That's going to be priority number one. Like,
the fuck's
seafood, Tegan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Enjoy your seafood. Ali, can I have dessert? I'll go if I can order a dessert.
You see, and going for dessert and Mexican food is an entirely different thing. That is also an entirely different thing.
It's deep fried and got cinnamon on it, right? It's fine.
No, oh, God. God damn it. It can. That describes an entirely narrow band of experiences. What if I were to tell you we were going to cut up some fruit, then we were to squeeze lemon over it, and then we were going to throw some chili powder on it, and then we were to throw some roasted nuts on top of that?
Why is it going to be spicy? Why is it spicy?
Because it's hitting you with, like, sweet, spicy, and savory as a layered taste combination because of the roasted nuts, the chili powder.
It's definitely an additive experience.
Yes, it is.
Can I get it without the spicy?
I mean, you can. Like, I mean, technically.
I'll give it a shot. Can I give it half spicy?
That's something that what restaurants are able to do.
Okay. Because I can try with spicy and without spicy.
Okay. Well, holy fuck. I'm sorry, everyone. I just looked to see that we were 3.5 hours into this show.
Oh, you're now noticing that? Whatever. It's fine. Okay. So, we're going to do news.
We only have two.
We
only have 2 stories. It's fine.
But we only have 3 news stories. Yeah, it's not 6 like we normally do. This is just 3.
Good thing none of them is a gigantic news story.
So everyone, our first news story is an epic. It is the epic of WallStreetBets. And it starts with Melvin Capital Management, a multi-billion-dollar hedge fund that had for the past couple of months, actually the past couple of years, been accruing a big short position on GameStop in the excess of $55 million. But before I continue, I do need to explain a little bit about shorts and squeezes. And I'm going to use an analogy. For the sake of this analogy, you can imagine snakes being Melvin Capital and Citron, which is a company that we'll discuss later, and apes, which are retail investors or people like you and me who invest in the stock market. The analogy begins with an ape that has 5 bananas that cost currently $10. The snake asks to borrow the 5 bananas for a bit. And when they gain custody of the bananas, they sell them, thinking that the price will go down. This action is called shorting. He thinks, the snake, that they can buy them for less and give them back to the ape so that they make a profit on the difference. So let's say they sell the 5 bananas for $10 and later the price goes down and they're only $5. If they give the bananas back to the ape, they make $5 and the ape is none the wiser. Now, a group of apes notice that what the snakes are doing, and they decide to buy all the bananas on the market so that the snakes have no other choice but to buy from the groups of apes in order to return what they borrow, which are bananas and not money. And if the group of apes stays strong, then the price will go up. And this is exactly what happened. A group of Redditors saw that there was less stock that was due and started buying all the stock in what's called a short squeeze against Melvin Capital. And the borrowed shares were due, but the Redditors refused to sell, demanding higher and higher prices. And as a result, Melvin Capital lost more than $5 billion in 2 weeks. And they had to get bailed out by 2 different funds, Citadel and Point72. Don't forget them. They're going to come back later. Now, the stock in question was GameStop stock, which is honestly the reason that we're talking about this. GameStop shares increased more than 400% during the week of the 25th of January to more than $350 a piece, driving this January gains to nearly 700%. The total value of their stock, which is called their market capitalization, rose to a peak of $25 billion. And GameStop was the most traded name in the U.S. stock market on Tuesday, January 26, more than Tesla and Apple, even though they're much larger in market cap. But the thing is, GameStop is not a $25 billion company. We've talked about them throughout last year, and they haven't been doing too hot. And they haven't announced any new innovations or products to generate this kind of excitement. But the reason this group of Redditors have been purchasing this stock is specifically to hurt the hedge fund managers that bet that GameStop would fail, for the memes. Now, Keith Gill, also known as Deep Fucking Value, has been holding GameStop stock since June of 2019. He started with a $50,000 investment, which is more than probably any of us have on hand, and that eventually grew to what he has in the present. As of the 27th of January, he cashed out $15 million of it at $350 a share, and he's set to take about $22 million overall. Also, he has been awarded moderatorship of the subreddit, WallStreetBets, and has been interviewed by the Wall Street Journal for coordinating the GameStop stock squeeze. Now, the subreddit, WallStreetBets, which describes themselves as if 4chan had found a Bloomberg terminal, is now 7 million members strong and growing, even though at the start of this, they were about 2 million members altogether. And now this community does hurl slurs about autism for jokes, and they are generally gross, rude, and crude for laughs. But they have become a target over the past couple of weeks. Their Discord was infiltrated and had their traffic redirected to a different server. And Discord actually banned their server, not for stock manipulation or anything like that, but for hate speech, glorifying violence, and spreading misinformation. Shortly after, the subreddit was taken private, but a couple hours later, the subreddit reopened and they linked to a new Discord. I'm only going to talk about what happened from about the 28th until now. On the morning of the 28th, GameStop hit $500 a share in pre-market trading, and Robinhood, which is a free app that allows for fee-free trading for various stocks, hid stocks from search, including American Airlines, Bed Bath & Beyond, BlackBerry, Castor Maritime, Express, Koss Corporation, Nokia, Sundial Growers, Tootsie Roll, Trivago, AMC, Naked, and of course GameStop. The thing that these all have in common are that they were all targeted by WallStreetBets, but also they had very vulnerable short positions. Robinhood also canceled pending orders set on the night of the 27th for the targeted stocks, and Robinhood, TD Ameritrade, and Webull stopped current holders of the stock from buying new stock, but only allowed them to sell. Since then, they have only allowed limited sale of the aforementioned stocks. I guess what I should say is that there is a reasoning for this. Robinhood does send the bulk of its order flow to Citadel, which is one of the firms that bailed out Melvin earlier. And Citadel also, with its connection to Robinhood, may have leveraged their position against them to disrupt the rise of the targeted stocks. I have included screenshots in the show doc of what it would look like if you tried to buy in the targeted stocks through TD Ameritrade or Robinhood. Since then, Robinhood was review bombed on the app and Play stores with more than 100,000 one-star reviews, but it turns out from the Play Store, Google did delete them. This also may make sense because Google's venture capital arm is one of the major investors in Robinhood. Since then, the SEC is currently investigating Robinhood following complaints from our WallStreetBets, and a class action lawsuit has been filed against Robinhood for market manipulation. There have been a couple of idiots that showed up on CNBC, some supporting WallStreetBets, some against, but honestly, it's a mess.
Rocky, something I didn't hear you mention, which blew my fucking mind when I started to see screenshots, was on Thursday when Robinhood started forcing some, but not all, of people who held GameStop, forcing sales of the stock through the app.
That's true.
Yeah, they opened their app to discover that Robinhood was selling their shares without consent.
That seems illegal.
Mixed bag. I can't speak to the specific situations, but most of the stuff that I've seen, and I've definitely dug into it a bit, is that people that placed options to buy GameStop at a certain price when it showed up, those options were canceled overnight. I did see a lot of that, while the market was closed. And I do know that on the NYSE floor, or, the New York Stock Exchange, there were failings of specific terminals because of the traffic that was coming through for GameStop. And it's possible that the stock exchange may have pressured Robinhood as well, but I haven't seen a lot to support that finding.
From what I was reading, these aren't people who necessarily had options. These are people who straight up had successfully purchased shares.
Mm-hmm.
And it was number of shares between what I would call significant buys and what I would call casual buys. So people who did stuff buy 10,000 shares weren't impacted, and people who bought 1 or 5 shares weren't impacted. But people who were more what I would call oh hey, I got 100 shares, those were the ones that were being impacted by these forced sales. Where they would, and the error message that they were spitting was fucking amazing. Let me pull up this error message. It says, "Hi, username. In light of recent volatility, we are restricting transactions for certain securities to position closing only. However, due to the unreasonable risk in brokering your position, we have sold your fill-in number of shares here for an average price of," and then it shows a price which was below market value at the time. They sold the shares at $118.93. Your trade confirmation will be in your order history in 1 trading day. If you have any questions, please visit our help center, and we'd be happy to help.
That tracks.
Yeah.
Maybe, okay, was that one of the situations where people were trading on margin?
Possibly.
What is trading on margin?
So, Robinhood and, other, specific brokers allow you to borrow money to buy shares, essentially, if they trust you.
Mm-hmm.
What you can do on Robinhood at a certain point is you could borrow money to buy shares, and if they go up, you can basically repay the amount of money that you borrowed while also keeping, the profit for yourself. Mm-hmm. And I know that that's also a thing that happened with Robinhood. And I feel like that may be similar to the language that I heard for that particular error message, but I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to check again.
There's been so much fuckery with the impact of stocks this week.
Mm-hmm.
The shit going on around AMC is amazing as well.
True. I think the big ones are AMC and maybe American Airlines. I know Nokia didn't get a lot of attention overall.
Right.
But, like, AMC is one of the ones that, like, have been one of the, quote, like, emerging meme stocks. But I do want to nail down is that the stocks that are being targeted is because they have significant short positions. And it's the idea that, like, if someone, like, borrowed the share to sell them, there are more shares on the market than, like, actually exist. At the beginning, if I remember correctly, GameStop's share, like, spread was, like, 140%, which means that there were, like, more shares out on the market that were being borrowed that could ever reasonably be bought.
Right.
And so, like, Deep Fucking Value, like, moved in, like, 2019 to punish that specifically. And when their short position started coming up, because it was supposed to call in, like, this month of January of 2021, a bunch of people jumped in to, like, you know, essentially bully, like, the hedge funds for doing so. And I don't know what the short call is for AMC, but, like, the short position that was out was about, like, 60% of the stock. So that if enough people moved to buy enough of the stock, they would be able to force a similar position, but not exactly as punishable as GameStop.
Right. So AMC's short position comes due on Monday.
Sick.
Yes.
I'm glad I held, actually, but whatever.
And I bought my AMC stock through Cash App.
For sure, same.
You can buy stocks on Cash
Yes,
App?
you
Now you can.
Oh, well, shit. All right.
And, like, there was some fuckery going on with the way that Cash App was displaying AMC over the last couple of days, where, like, it would show the stock up and be like, you've got a loss. And, like, I don't understand the math here, Cash App. It looks like I'm up about 20%, but you're saying I'm got a loss. They're like, yeah, you got a loss. Like, Cash App, I'm sitting here with the whiteboard. I've got my long division going on. Can you explain to me how I'm up by 20%? And you're like, you're losing. Sell. Because this doesn't really track. And then, like, the fuckery on AMC that I thought was amazing is that a company which currently holds most of AMC's debt.
Yeah, no, I saw that story. I was, like, really tempted to sell. There is a company, or was a company, technically, that held about $600 million in, like, AMC's debt. And in light of current events, they convinced the company to take stock in exchange for the debt. And on Friday, they cashed out the stock. They accepted the stock at, like, $13.19 a share. And at the time, it was closer to $20.
Right.
And so they sold and they made about $713 million cash by selling the stock. Yep. And they initially had like a $600 million debt. So like good for them, I guess. But like it definitely almost spooked me into selling like on Friday.
Yeah. And that was definitely what they were intending to do.
Mm-hmm.
God, I wish I could remember the name of this fucking old guy. But like it's been amazing to watch rich people kind of like show their final form in public this week. It's been pretty spectacular. There was this guy getting interviewed on CNBC. He's just sitting there and he goes, it's these fucking poor people sitting at home with their checks from the government. He's like, with their fair share bullshit. And I'm just like, wow. And he's like,
I definitely saw that guy, but I feel like I was more personally touched by like the Mad Money guy losing his mind over like the GameStop rise. And also, like, Chamath Palihapitiya, like, getting it. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, he read through, like, the WallStreetBets, and, like, I'm not on board with those guys. Like, I don't really like them. But the people that are, like, talking on that board, outside of, you know, the hyper-capitalists, are really people who are, like, dissatisfied with the way that, like, the markets are, like, designed to screw over people who are working. And the people who are like watching the trends are making like really wise moves more so than like some of the professionals who are just cruising along. And it feels, the thing that like technology is supposed to be, which is like disruptive.
Right.
It feels like the people who are like at the top, who are just cruising because they know the right people, now that like the right kinds of tools are like democratized, like their spots are a lot less safe.
And something else that like I kind of want to add is that like, though we are not willing to, and I think rightfully so, lionize our WallStreetBets people, there are people who got to ride this bus.
True.
Who I am super happy for. Like
some of their stories are in our show doc.
Yep. When I'm seeing people who are like paying off their siblings' college debts or getting surgery for their fucking pets or surgery for themselves, like it honestly feels like the kind of like a historic smash grab and redistribution of wealth. Like, yes, the first brick might have been tossed by assholes, but other people picked up bricks and did their own throwing. And like, I'm very, very happy for that. There's something about it being GameStop stock that was the first blow, which is like really, really perfect. That like, if what the wealthy want to do is control the poor through, infinite distraction apps and social media, then fuck you. We will use the infinite distraction stock trading app and we will learn how to use it with social media. And we will push you through a wood chipper with it.
True.
Yeah.
I just hope everybody who's cashing out and making bank, good for them, obviously. But also, I hope they're remembering to save some for tax time for next year.
That's coming up. It's a whole thing that, like, a bit of it's been discussed on WallStreetBets. Not a lot, I gotta say, but, like, definitely some of it. It's recurring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just hope that these people don't get burned later down the line,
Because it's short-term, capital gains, it's all taxable.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Make sure you're saving some of that. Good, like, I saw someone on TikTok saying, like, 18 to 24%, just in case, depending on what tax bracket you're gonna fall into.
Right.
And I'm like, oof, save the larger percent just in case.
Before you buy the robot butler who can serve you drugs, put aside some money.
Just don't get burned.
Yeah, don't get
be
fucking
careful.
burned, you dipshits.
I just don't want you to owe the IRS a bunch of money after you were able to pay off a bunch of money,
Right. Yeah.
And do some good with it and put it back in the economy where it'll actually do something. You know.
Also, like, fuck Robinhood. Like, dead ass. Like,
let the people trade.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I hate that they're wearing the name Robinhood and, like, do this kind of bullshit. We're like, no, you can't buy stocks. You can only sell them. I don't care if they're exploding. Who cares? It's just the internet. But also, some of their employees in-house were just like, hey, guys, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. Dude, it's cool. Just have this $40 DoorDash, like, credit. And it's like, dog, are you serious? Like, oh, my God. And they walk in front of, like, no, please understand, we're doing this to protect you, the retail investor. We're doing this so you don't hurt yourself. That's why we're restricting trade on these particular securities. And it's like,
you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right, but it's also like, I've seen so many responses from people being like, I'm never gonna see this money anyway, fuck off. Like,
oh my God.
Let me play with the imaginary Monopoly money the way I want to, you fucks.
There is a nihilism and there is a fatalism, which most generations, which are not boomers, which have adopted because of what we have inherited, where we're like, yeah, you know what? Before I die, it's probably going to be Mad Max time. So you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it.
I do want to acknowledge, like, even though, I may never make it to 50, I do want to acknowledge that, like, fucking Robinhood, I think it's like the night of the 27th, they went to their investors and they like basically begged for a bunch of money to like, try to handle these trades and these cash outs. And I think they got $1 billion out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if you could just like beg someone for $1 billion, I don't think you're in as weak of a position as you think you are. That's all I'm just going to say.
Yep. 110%. Like the garbage and the unmitigated gall. And what's amazing to me, also, you know what? Here's a weird segue on this whole thing. Fuck Ted Cruz. You know, like...
But Ted Cruz is on the side with AOC. He's cool now or whatever. He may be the Zodiac killer, and he may have tried to kill AOC, but no, he's boys or whatever. Who knows?
Oh, Jesus. What the fuck?
This fucking dipshit, I swear.
I honestly love AOC's response to it, where, and yes, I did just call Ted Cruz an it. This strange, evil slug man. This is one of those things where it's kind of like, you know what the whole Legolas and Gimli meme.
No, I think I saw one of those in reference to this, but I mean, like, normal things, like, I never thought I'd be fighting alongside an elf. It's like, I never thought I'd be fighting alongside a hypercap. It's like, yeah, like, Elon's gonna take us to the moon. And it's like, Gimli's like, what the fuck? And
Yeah.
Like, Daddy Musk is gonna take us on Mars. What the fuck?
Well, I put that on our Twitter.
You did,
yes.
yeah.
And AOC's response was, she's like, you know what? I'm happy to work with most Republicans on this. You know, she's like, not you. You tried to have me killed.
Yeah, that sounds
Yep.
reasonable. That totally makes sense.
Right. And so
That tracks 100%.
if you're not a member of what I like to call the reverse squad or the goon squad, fine. Welcome to the party. We can work together on this. If you are a member of the goon squad, get fucked.
Yeah.
No, like Ted Cruz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Bobbert, you can all just get fucked. Like, you're not part of this. But, like, if y'all other ones want to talk about this, we're game. Because it's wild that y'all are pissed off, too. Just this revelation of Republicans discovering, what do you mean free markets aren't free? Like,
Yeah, it's great. And meanwhile, us down here at the bottom are like, no, we knew.
No. Like, we're like
Fucks.
the astronauts, like, behind him's like, it was never free. Like, gun cocked and everything.
fucking...
The fact that you didn't know it wasn't actually free is a huge marker of your own privilege. Fuck off.
Dog, I'm so mad that, like, fucking, like, people who are on Wall Street Bets, they're upset. And it wasn't even, like, all of them, you know? Like, cause at the time this happened, there's about 5 million of them. And about 100,000 of them decided, you know what? Fuck Robinhood. And they sent 1-star reviews. And, like, Google's just like, oh, these are fake. Whatever. And they just got rid of them. They just wiped that shit clean. Like, if you look at it right now, like, fucking Robinhood's like a fucking 4-star review again. And, like, it's just like, dog, are you fucking serious?
It's...
Oh, my God. I'm usually not pro review bombing, but, like, holy shit, guys. Like, come on.
Yeah, I think most of us I think the stance of this show is usually, like, we're not pro review bombing, but also, like, in this case, we are pro review bombing.
Yeah.
Because they're definitely doing shit that feels very illegal.
Dog, imagine if Breath of the Wild decided you can swing your sword, but not at that. Like, you press the button, it doesn't come out. Like, what the fuck is that?
Guys, I've got a deep cut which is going to give some ultimate flavor to longtime listeners of this show.
I can't
I'm listening,
wait.
Brian.
Robinhood is the fucking Apple snake of financial trading apps.
Oh my god, Apple Snake.
I can't wait for Robin Hood 2, dude. Like, Robin Hood Christmas edition.
You have to trade stocks in an erotic castle. Like...
As long as I don't have to clean it, you know? Like that.
Oh, God. Fuck. There you go, everybody. Who knew that capitalism was Apple Snake? I knew. I fucking knew. We all knew. This show knew. We knew that capitalism was Apple Snake.
Chicken, you have a story for us.
I do. It is not about the stocks, though.
Okay, for sure.
I
Is it
promise.
about stonks?
No, it's not about stonks either. Twitter's playing Pokemon.
Okay.
That's it. That's the story. That's it. So remember when Twitch played Pokemon in 2014 and they beat Pokemon Red in 16 days?
Yeah, I remember that. That was dope.
Yeah. Okay, so Twitter's playing Pokemon now.
Okay.
Gameloft 3D programmer Konstantin Leitard? I'm sorry. I mispronounced her last name. Has tried to recreate basically the magic of Twitch playing Pokemon with his Twitter avatar.
I think that that accent comes out as leotard.
Leotard. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. So what happens is in his avatar on Twitter updates every 15 seconds with the current progress of the game. And basically what you have to do is you have to, if you want to put an input in, you have to do it using the comment section on the tweet from when he first announced the project.
Mm-hmm.
And the most common input every 15 seconds is transmitted into the game, basically. He also created a special Discord where people can discuss strategy.
Mm-hmm.
The game started on the 8th of January, and they defeated Erica on the 24th of January. So already we're over double time because Twitch took 16 days total, and we're a little bit over day 16 now.
Yeah, that makes sense. Twitter is a bit more chaotic than Twitch.
It is a bit more chaotic, but also I feel like there probably aren't as many concurrent inputs to sift through.
I mean, at least they didn't pick Flareon, right? Because, like, Flareon, like, is probably the worst choice that you can pick for your evolution.
But, you know, we also don't have the glorious, you know, the god or anything.
Yeah, no Amistar. But, like, I mean, like...
Yeah, no Omnistar.
They did pick
They do
Squirtle.
have a Fearow named Chad.
I wonder if they're going to end up with a Venomoth. I wonder if they're going to keep Zapdos.
I'm interested.
Because, like, Zapdos is really strong in Gen 1.
Yeah, they do definitely have a Geodude and a Fearow for sure. Because I can... whenever they defeat a gym leader, the avatar updates. Or he like takes a screenshot of them getting the badge.
Oh fuck, hold on. I want to see like their current team. Is it just Twitch Plays Pokemon? Is that what they're called?
No, I linked it. If you click on the Pokemon for Twitter is playing Pokemon, it'll take you right to the Twitter.
Oh, bet.
It's at Screen Shakes for anyone who doesn't have access to the
Oh, this is a pretty decent team. It's not the best, but like Graveler, I think this is still Kadabra, because it's one spoon.
Yes.
Wartortle, Jolteon, Fearow, and Snorlax.
Yep.
I'm not mad at this team. This is alright.
It's not a bad team. And I feel like because of the way the input is pulled, they probably have a bit more time to discuss.
Yeah. I think the Discord is a good tool. Like, I wish that it happened entirely on the Twitch chat, but I totally get it.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Twitch plays Pokemon.
I think it's because of the way the, like, input system has to work. But yeah, it's been neat to watch. I just check in every couple days, see what's going on,
so,
you know.
I really hope we get another resurgence of fan art, because, like, with Twitch Plays Pokemon, like, I didn't care for their run. I felt like it was too bit chaotic for my taste. But, like, the way that they venerated, like, the Omastar and, like, the Venomoth. Like, Venomoth, I think, was, like, the ATV or whatever.
Yep.
And, like... that was cool as fuck, and I really dug that. And I hope that Twitter Plays Pokemon ends up with something similar.
I would also enjoy that, but we'll see. I'll keep y'all posted, and I'll let you know when they finish.
Mm-hmm. God damn, it's better than T.I. and Tiny, I swear.
We just want to play Pokemon.
There was a clickbait article this week that said that the Diamond Pearl remakes could have Let's Go gameplay, and I got upset. Which is what they wanted me to do.
Yeah, I would also get upset.
They wanted me to be mad and click on the article, and I did. And it turns out they were talking out of their ass because we don't know anything about the Diamond Pearl remakes. And so, like, I closed it. I'm just going to play, like, Temtem next month. Whatever. It's fine.
Yeah. I've fallen for a couple of those, and every single time I get pissed.
Yeah.
Literally, so many articles are like, what we know about Breath of the Wild 2. And I'm like, oh, we know more info about Breath of the Wild 2? No, we don't know anything else.
Yeah, then fuck off. Like, go away.
You didn't miss something, Tegan. They didn't announce something at, like, Wanfest or something that you missed because you were asleep. Don't worry about it. We don't know anything.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Like, just stick to our show, guys. We will never tell you about anything that wasn't actually announced. We won't clickbait you, I promise.
Yep.
Or I tell you what, if we are going to tell you about something that wasn't announced, we are going to source better rumors.
It's true.
You're right.
We don't bring you those garbage rumors.
Brian, you have a rumor for us.
Sir, I've got fucking facts.
Oh, do you now?
I do.
What are the facts?
The Video Game History Foundation has continued doing the absolutely fantastic work that they do, and they've been working with an archive of a video game developer, Chris Oberth, who was a developer at Midway during Midway's heyday. Now, most of what they've found in Oberth's archive is fragments of code from individual games that he worked on, not reflecting like full builds or playable builds, just like his sections of the code. This is different. What they found was a lost, unreleased Midway sports game.
Ooh.
Yes. And this show has recently talked about, like, that heyday of, like, arcade, accessible, fun Midway sports games with a large amount of focus around NBA Jam on this program. So what has been found is Midway's baseball game, which was called Power Up Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so they were working on this, and the build was dated from 1996. So that would have put it after Jam, but before Blitz.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like trying to like pin it down in like the chronology of Midway sports games. So this is before Blitz and Hits and after Jam. But some other things that are like interesting about it are that it looks like the primary development team on this game was Incredible Technologies. And Incredible Technologies is another Chicago area. Jesus Christ, this episode is full of fucking Chicago. Is another Chicago area game maker, but Incredible Technologies is known for another staple of arcades and bars, Golden Tee. This game, Power Up Baseball, used a trackball as its primary input mechanic for controlling batting strength and pitching strength, which is fucking fascinating to me, the idea that people were using a trackball for that. Absolutely wild. The build that Cifaldi found, it is a playable build. It's definitely not like finished, but you can play through the game. Like you can insert a coin, games follow in sequence. He's currently trying to find out if anybody has a more complete build of the game. Nobody's responded yet. There's been some talk around like why Midway didn't necessarily pursue the game. One of the reasons was that at the time, Midway had concerns about how much abuse that trackballs would take in an arcade at the time. Like arcade operators would have to replace trackballs all the time, or trackballs would become damaged.
Mm-hmm.
They thought that like the profit per machine would be significantly below that of Mortal Kombat and NBA Jam, because keep in mind that in like 1995, 1996, Mortal Kombat, NBA Jam, and again, account for inflation here. Individual NBA Jam and Mortal Kombat machines are in 1996 generating generally about $2,000 per machine a week. And there was concerns that the trackball would cut significantly into that. And honestly, like if you think about like just how much Golden Tee is still, like if you walk into a bar, there's a decent chance that as long as that bar isn't trying to like be fancy, that there's a Golden Tee, machine in that bar. In Christ. I think that like you have to apply for a dispensation from like the Liquor Board of Arizona to not have a Golden Tee machine in your bar. What's interesting is that like Monday Morning quarterbacking this, historically, using a trackball did not stop Golden Tee from becoming one of the most profitable arcade games of all time. And that like recently when they offered Golden Tee machines for the home, and they're like, a Golden Tee machine that you can have at home, priced for the like affordable price of $1,500, they sold out of them. So it kind of feels like, considering like where baseball was in the zeitgeist as well in 1996, there was like so much interest in like the chase for the single season home run record, and people cared about like Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, like that this was a missed opportunity. Is anybody else feeling like this, like have the same beat on this, that it was a mistake?
I don't feel like it was a mistake. I feel like that Midway made the right call at the time, because most of their concerns were that the length of play would harm its engagement, and that made sense for the arcade scene. Like most arcade games were like, sub 5 minutes, and like a game of Power Up Baseball was easily 10. However, I think that the concept may be profitable even today, but I don't think Midway survived long enough to make that real. But if someone wanted to make, once again, a like high-powered baseball game that was, faster to play than like traditional baseball, but also engaging in the way that like baseball players actually have to deal with, like deciding what kind of pitches they're going to respond to and what kind of abilities they're going to use on a swing. If that's like not convoluted, but like really straightforward, that could be a really good thing. But I don't think that would have been a great call for them to do on this particular game in like, say, 1994 or whatever.
There's some other stuff which is interesting to read about it because like it doesn't use like a 3D rendering system, which was something which was like had presented challenge to how, you know, baseball games had worked up until then. There's always been a struggle to give players enough visual information to effectively like field in a baseball game.
Right. Yeah.
And because there's real problems with issues of depth, like making sure, like, is my dude standing in the right place to catch that ball? You know, that kind of thing. And apparently, like, in the copy that the Video Game History Foundation has, there is real issues with fielding. You really do struggle with the 2D engine to know if, like, are you fielding correctly?
I think there was a baseball game I played on the N64 that really like connected with me because like I was able to like control an individual player's movement, but like it was the C buttons on the N64 that like formed its own kind of like micro D-pad that like were really helpful. Like the C buttons that allowed me to like treat it as a baseball diamond. And I was able to control the movement of like players by like selecting them individually with like the C buttons and moving them with like my thumbstick. That could be simplified to like the way that most controllers work now, where there's like a separation between like a D-pad and like the 4 like buttons that you use to interact with like most things in the game. The way that like control schemes have evolved like would fit more in like the present schema than like they did back then. Like, I don't think a trackball would have been sufficient, even though I agree that whoever was making the game was definitely having fun when they were doing it. But also, I have concerns about, like, baseball as a game, like, irrespective of, like, any, like, video game iteration of it, as being, like, too slow, drawn out, and long than, like, something that, like, in a video game experience that someone would, like, have fun with. And I think, like, ways of simplifying it or, like, shortening it in ways that are meaningful while, like, containing its essence, because I think baseball is a good game. There's a reason people have been playing it for about 100 years or so, that, like, could be translated better into, like, a virtual context.
I mean, there's definitely a reason that there aren't cricket video games.
True. Damn, it really sucks because like cricket is actually a really cool game, but it's not really fun to play. It's fun to watch if you get into it, but you have to get into it, which, you know, is another barrier to entry.
I want to try and stay focused on this for a second, but as just an aside, I've been really, really wanting to find the time to get into cricket because cricket is so fucking carny, and that amazes me. That like it is possible that the only thing carnier in this world than cricket is pro wrestling. And that says a lot. But back to this game for a second. There are definitely design choices about it which feel very, very average for the time. There was a power-up button that you used in tandem with the trackball to control like the strength of your pitch or the strength of your swing. And so like in addition to like rolling the trackball back and forward or at angles, you were also using this like power-up gauge, which felt very golf game-like. You know, trying to hit that sweet spot on a gauge, which doesn't feel like a particularly great choice. But the thing that I do find interesting about, you know, what they were doing is there's definitely a very NBA Jam-esque choice, which is that like power-up baseball let you as the pitcher intentionally bean the batter.
Oh.
Yes.
Right.
Which was like very new to video games at the time. Like, the idea of being able to like intentionally hit him, which would give somebody a base, but in the event of there being a runner on second or third, prevents the possibility of there being a multiple base home run. So you're giving away a base, but you're preventing the possibility of a multi-base home run, which like for 1996 is very forward-looking design.
There's also a counterplay to like someone deciding to bean you. Like it's not like there's nothing you can do. There is a specific like swing that you can use. I believe it's the caveman swing to like hit a ball that's like designated to bean you, but you have to read it. Otherwise, like any other swing will not hit the ball that's going to try to bean you.
So, like, from this era of baseball game, like, I think I would still definitely say, like, no, just go ahead and play Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball. Because, like...
Ken Griffey was dope. I played a lot of that shit.
Yeah, like, that is a very arcade... Like, again, like, where are all the fucking arcade sports games? Jesus! You know?
Baseball's slow, dude. That's all I gotta say. Like, MLB The Show is good. Like, 2K and Madden come out every year. I mean, International Track and Field is still the GOAT. Don't at me. 1080 and, like, SSX had their times, I guess.
I'm just saying that there is a space for these kind of fucking games. Like, the International Track and Field controller, with its two big fucking candy buttons, where it's just like, just go. Just go. That's all you need. You need these two buttons.
Okay, so I'm not sure about that because, like, the only International Track and Field I played was, like, a Game Boy, like, color/pocket game that, like, I played on the Game Boy Color.
Okay, so International Track and Field for the PS1.
Sure.
Very much looks like, despite being a Konami game, it looks visually like the Sega Saturn generation Virtual Fighters Daytona style game, and is played with two fucking buttons. And it is... They sold a controller for the PlayStation 1 that was just two fucking buttons. So you could sit there with your two giant-ass buttons and play your track and field, and it was dope.
Sounds like an early, like, Microsoft, like, accessibility controller.
That really wraps our news. We do have a piece of mail this week.
We do?
We do, which comes from Anthony Kuhn, and he says...
I love Anthony. He's actually great.
And he says, you guys are probably more in the weeds about this, but what NBA Jam Tournament Edition ROM hack is the ideal one?
Damn. I don't know a lot about the multiple ROM hacks. God damn it, Twan.
No worries, Rocky, I got you.
That's what I'm worried about, but go on.
He then goes on to say, I used to play the shit out of the NBA Jam reboot on the Wii. It still holds up today. Yeah. But true. I never played the Genesis and SNES versions, so I could use some insight here.
Genesis is better than SNES. I know that for sure.
Well, I mean, the important thing for Mr. Anthony Kuhn, who's going to be playing this on an RG351P, fuck both. Just go ahead and get the arcade version.
It's true. Chips on the board. Yeah. Because
all of the best ROM hacks for NBA Jam Tournament Edition are hacks of the arcade version.
So you just want, like, the most recent board, I suppose?
Well, there are specifically two guys who do the best NBA Jam hacks. Their names are SKL and Matrizzle, and they have done some really, really good stuff. Their most recent hack has the ability to use either the period-appropriate teams from the release of NBA Jam Tournament Edition, or you can choose to play with the current 30-team configuration of the NBA with updated team names and uniforms. They also have both rosters available. You can either play with the 95-96 roster, or you can play with a 2K21 roster, which is also nice. Other things that they did was to break out injury into its own stat in the table, which makes like the effect of shoving more predictable in the game, which allows for like more nuance in play. So if you want to because shoving in NBA Jam used to work like tripping in Brawl,
gross.
It was relatively unpredictable. And SKL and Matrizzle made the effects of shoving much, much more predictable by breaking out injury to its own stat. I think that's very, very helpful. Also, they have reliably made the codes for accessing secret teams just the Konami code. So, no having to research all of the old codes from Tournament Edition. Just go ahead and throw in the Konami code and gain access to all the secret players. Yeah.
Nice.
So just check out Matrizzle and SKL's most recent hack. They're the two best guys working on hacks for NBA Jam TE, and you'll be in good shape.
I'm actually really mad that shoving/tripping is in fucking NBA Jam. I forgot about it. I legitimately didn't remember.
Well, that's why I'm here to tell you about the best hacks for NBA Jam Tournament Edition. When you want to refine your shoving, you can. And also remember, shoving doesn't really fucking matter if the players you pick had speed stats above 80. Because ain't nobody touching you then.
So everyone, this has been our show. It's called Impossible Coin. It's crazy long. I don't know why that happened. But you can find us because we're here every week. We're wherever you find podcasts. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and SoundCloud.
Fuck SoundCloud!
Fuck SoundCloud.
I'm going to retire this bit at some point, but it will not be this week. Speaking of SoundCloud, the music at the beginning and end of this podcast was produced by our friend, kid brother of the show, the man, the myth, the legend, Big Sach. And you can find him at soundcloud.com/BigSachNJ. If you want to drop him a line specifically, you can find him on Twitter at Hillary_Swank. Our logo is also a t-shirt, and it was designed by Lauren Moran. You can follow her on Twitter at Lauren Moran, and consider donating to her Patreon, because she does the good business. She does consistently good work. And speaking of Patreon, we have one of those too, at patreon.com/ImpossibleCoinPodcast. I know /ImpossibleCoin does have Brian's name on it. Don't freak out. It's not the right one. It's Impossible Coin Podcast. There, you will find our premium watch-alongs and our bonus content relating to anime, wrestling, and other things that we particularly care about, like the Zelda timeline and maybe even Paper Mario someday. Who knows? And if you want to talk to us directly, we are on social media. Brian's on Twitter. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. Tegan's on Tumblr. It's all Impossible Coin. No underscores or dashes or X's or anything weird like that. In fact, if you see anyone weird like that using Impossible Coin, let us know, because we want to deal with that. It's important to us. We're trying to protect the brand. But that's us. That's the show.
Yeah, I would say something at this point about making wine, but we've already been here for 4 hours.
4.5, Brian.
All right. And
4.5.
You know what, though? After a 4.5-hour recording, I could use a drink.
Oh, here's Tegan with the energy for the bit, and bless her. All right, Tegan, because you've got the power. Tegan could use a drink, and while I don't think she should necessarily have to wait 5 days for that drink, once she does have the energy to wait for five days for a drink, I think she should go to bruzy.refr.cc/impossible coin to get 15% off her first order from Bruzy, at which point she can make what I'm sure is to be sickeningly sweet wine, which tastes like candy, because that just sounds straight up Tegan's alley.
The link is in our link tree.
We're doing a wine specifically made out of Coca-Cola. You know it.
Yeah.
And maraschino cherries.
Tegan, make me a
I don't know how
Coca-Cola
that's
whiskey.
gonna work. I'll figure it out.
A Coca-Cola
What?
bourbon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'll try.
I believe.
So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening to all the stuff about, Shiren, and about how I'm wrong about Fenix, and about,
I did not say you were wrong. I just said it wasn't my experience.
and about how Rocky is angry at food.
Yes.
That's what we're taking away here. Come on, guys.
And how the money's made up and the stocks don't matter.
This is true.
And Hitman is good.
And Hitman is good.
So God bless. Hug your loved ones if you're vaccinated, but maybe not too close because the world's a fucking nightmare.
Make sure you wear a mask while you're hugging them.
And peace.
Bye.
Oh, yeah, for sure.